The points, well, there hasn't really been a shakeup in how they stack up. But look at that gap between first and second. 15 points now, the margin between RTJ and JD. Moran still third, Alberson still clinging to fourth. And that fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh place battle is incredibly tight right now. 130 points separating Garrett Alberson in fourth from Brandon Shepard in seventh. You see the rest of the top 10 there on your screen. The current Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series point standings and that big River Steel chase for the championship presented by ARP. The current O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year points. It's a shame that James Essex is still MIA somewhere on the grounds because he's been begging for this all week long. Tied right now. Donald McIntosh, Daniel Hilsebeck in a deadlock for that O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year point chase. $20,000 going to the 2025 O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year. Dan Ebert hanging out there in the third position. After this, well, we're going to make our way down to Wheatland, Lucas Oil Speedway. Show Me 100 weekend once again for the tribute to Don and Billy Gibson, the Cowboy Classic, and of course, the annual Show Me 100. $75,000 to win this year on Saturday night. We'll take a couple weekends off. Of course, the Dirt Late Model Dream is sandwiched in there. We'll head to the Roger Sellers owned Smoky Mountain Speedway on June 13th and 14th for the Mountain Moonshine Classic. Back at Lernerville the following weekend for the Firecracker 100. An off weekend before we head back to my home state, the Buckeye State, for Atomic and Muskingum County. LucasDirt.com for all the latest schedule information, news, notes, nuggets, and more with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Hey, you want to know where to get some of that good-looking FloRacing merchandise? I was going to get James some for his birthday, but he's ditched me. Here. Scan the QR code there on your screen. I've had James's flip phone. I'd scan it for him right now. If you get a flip phone like James does, you can just go to shopflowsports.com and pick up all the latest swag. There's some pretty good-looking stuff on there as well. Make great stocking stuffers, birthday presents, or heck, get something for yourself. Scan the QR code, go to shopflowsports.com, and get yourself some FloRacing merchandise. All right, the search party's on for James Essex. We're going to step aside for a quick set of commercial breaks, and when we come back, he may or may not be here. And whether he is or not, we're going to go ahead and take a look when we come back at all the action that you might have missed from night one here at Eagle. Don't go anywhere. It's the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series presented by FloRacing. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness, look at that parking lot. They are piling in here to Eagle Raceway in Eagle, Nebraska. The search party's still on for James Essex. I think they're gonna. I think they will find him before we get underway. Cars lined up down the road. Night 3 of the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist. $50K to win, 75 laps. We mentioned that it's 3 complete nights of racing here at Eagle Raceway, and tonight is a complete show. How things shook out on Thursday and Friday. They have no bearing on the racing action here tonight, so let's just go ahead and take a look, just in case you missed it, at the highlight package from the Thursday night racing action with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series here at Eagle. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is going green for 40 laps and $10,000 to win here at Eagle.
The Nutrient Solution start zone. Alberson goes to the outside, down the back straightaway. They go even into 3. O'Neill pulls away by a Carling. Lap 1 of 40, off at turn 4. O'Neill picking up where he left off at Marshalltown the other night, leads into turn number 1.
Trying to go 2 for 2 here at Eagle. Garrett Alberson second, side by side for third. Dylan Thornton and Snowdrift doing battle just off your screen on the right-hand side. There they are, front and center. Blair Nodorf and a Redder, South Dakota gets too high.
Oh,
he took a little run coming off corner number 4. 2 lap score, 38 laps to go. Green waves in the Nutrient Ag Solution starting zone.
Oh, Thornton gets into the back. Dylan Thornton to the back of Alberson.
A shot in the shorts, as Chet Christner would say.
Down the back straightaway is O'Neill into 3. There's Alberson. Dylan Thornton to the outside. Ricky Thornton Jr. to the outside. Here comes Carson Ferguson. Alberson and Davenport on the bottom. We got a lap in, but a brutal lap 2 for several competitors that are out of the race.
Side by side for second now. Dylan Thornton with a good run off corner number 2. Trying to take second away from Alberson. He does so. He may not be done yet. Dylan Thornton on the high side of the speedway. Move over. Dilly. No, don't move over, Dilly. He's coming
out. They're trying to go 3 wide there on the outside. Ricky Thornton up against the wall.
Ricky.
5 down in the books. Down the back straightaway. Thornton and Thornton going at it. Dylan and Ricky Jr. O'Neill still leads. Alberson, Davenport, Shepard, Ferguson. Bronson is 8th. Moran 9th. Overton is 10th. Good race there. O'Neill still showing the way. 6 down, still 34 remaining here.
For third on the right side of your screen. Now driving into your living room, Alberson and Thornton.
Thornton looking for his 50th career win in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. For his 8th win of the year. Dylan Thornton to the outside, Alberson. Here comes Shepard. Brandon Shepard to the outside of Davenport. Looked like a replay of the final lap at Fairbury the other night, right? Off at turn 4, 10 in the books. O'Neill has led every one of them, 30 to go. Dylan
Thornton's getting rolling up on the high side again, James. That 38T is really good up there. Meanwhile, the 49 on the Rocket 1, they're smooth and straight on the bottom of the speedway as Mr. Consistency himself, Devin Moran, starts creeping into the picture in that Roger Sellers Double Down Motorsports number 99. Meanwhile, back up the front of the field, here comes RTJ battling for the lead.
Trying to dirty up that middle of that track. He gets down low, they're side by side, he throws it in on him. Will we have a new leader? And it is. At the line, Ricky Thornton Jr. on lap 12 takes the top spot.
And he's found that smooth, steady line now at the bottom of the racetrack as well, leaving the 71 of Hudson O'Neill and RTJ. He did drive right into your living room right there, James. Move over, Catnapper. Here comes the 71 of Hudson O'Neill back to the outside. You got a good one here at Eagle.
That was close. Down the back straightaway, 0.026 seconds. Going to Carling down 3. There's Dylan Thornton 3rd. Davenport, Moran, Alberson 6th. Bronson, good run for him 7th. Shepard, Overton, Carson, Ferguson runs 10th. As we're coming up on the Hellraiser Jacks halfway mark for RTJ.
Yeah, and your race leader, Ricky Thornton Jr. is coming up on the back of the field, and he is going to get saved with a Coleman Farms Racing caution as Brandon Shepard has a flat right rear on the Rocket 1.
See what happens. It's not over yet. Down the main straightaways. It was proven here a year ago, and we're back underway at Eagle.
And here comes Jonathan Davenport trying to get a run on the outside of Hudson O'Neill. If he hits that turn 2 right, you can get a good run off the corner down the back straightaway where the track funnels together. Widen out again through turns 3 and 4. RTJ out front. Superman cap flapping, cape flapping in the breeze up to second.
It's smoothed out quite a bit, hasn't it? We remember last year it started off like it did earlier tonight, but it's really good right now. Moran and Alberson going back. 7 laps remaining. Dylan Thornton in there.
Trying to work back inside
You're
Hudson
not missing,
O'Neill.
as you would say, not missing anything up front. 2.6 seconds. Thornton in traffic into one.
And Ricky Thornton Jr. just grabbed the cushion. And
You
that
are
allows...
missing something up front then.
Yes, you
just
are.
did.
Don't worry, we've got it. We'll have the replay. We've got it right here.
Fourth, Thornton still has the lead. Davenport led lap 34, Thornton back in front. JD to the top, has the momentum. Down the back straightaway, 5 to go. We got a battle. Davenport's going to throw it in. And the Coleman Farms caution is out. You cannot be serious.
Oh, it's Dalton Wilson as
Big
well.
Farm had a good run going into 10th. We'll see what happened here. There's, right, yeah, he hooked.
Man.
Wow. And here comes Davenport. He'll lead at the line. Thornton regroups back in front. Davenport did lead a lap. O'Neill led early on. Nutrient Ag Solutions restart zone, 5 to go. Let's see.
A good restart for the 20 RT.
Yep.
A really good restart right there. Davenport going to try to get that momentum up on the high side in the 49. What does Kyle Bronson have left in the tank? And Ricky Thornton Jr., does he push up the track too much? Jonathan Davenport going to close back in, 4 to go.
Bronson in third, Moran fourth, Alberson fifth. Now Moran is back to third. Devin throws the slider in 2. He's there. Davenport's looking to the bottom. He's going to throw it in. And no. The Coleman Farms Racing caution is out just as they were battling for the lead again. We got to do it again. Got 4 laps for Davenport. Let's see what he can do. Thornton on the restart, the Nutrient Ag Solutions restart zone into turn 1.
I would not walk away from the TV if
man.
I were you. Oh, RTJ gets too high. He cracks the wall coming off the corner. Here comes the 49 down to the inside. Side by side for the lead. Side by side for third. 3 laps to go this time by. Ricky Thornton Jr. stays out front. James, here comes the 49 again.
The battle for third there. Moran and Bronson down the back straightaway. They left 2 to go. Davenport's got to get going. He's got to hope for a mistake from Thornton. Thornton smooth out of 4. 2 to go down the front straightaway.
The 20 RT, has he got his feet under him, as we like to say. There's a drink right there. Here comes the 49 down the max race. Closing the gap, James. Closing the gap. They're coming around to the Barron's Performance. 1 to go.
Alpha turn 4. It's 1 lap to go behind them.
The 49 just lost a ton of ground.
Bronson to third, Moran fourth, Alberson fifth. Thornton pulling away. DJ final lap off of turn 4 to the checker.
An issue for Dylan Thornton. It's not going to matter. Ricky Thornton Jr. is going to win night 1 of the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist here at Eagle. Well, an interesting first night of racing action here at Eagle Raceway with the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist, as that gentleman is sporting the shirt of the winner, Ricky Thornton Jr. Ben, it was I was going to say it was incredible from our vantage point in the booth, but man, oh man, from the infield, I mean, it had to be incredible from your vantage point as well, especially the 2 times that RTJ thought maybe he lost the lead.
Yeah, watching these guys from the infield, this racetrack is a handful. You heard Shepard talk about it last night. There's dips, there's divots, there's changes in the banking, and we saw those guys really trying to figure it out Thursday night, and it was a heck of a show. Ricky Thornton Jr., the Coleman Farms cautions played into his hand, and Jonathan Davenport maybe had to wait one more night to have him work out his way. We'll talk about that in a minute. Right now, we're going to slide off to break. Engine heat in the pit area, dirt draft hot laps just around the corner. Here from the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist here at Eagle Raceway. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Eagle Raceway in Eagle, Nebraska. Breaking news. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. James Essex you're here, you've been found.
Well,
you were missing.
You always want to know on my race pass who missing data is. That's me.
It was you.
That's me right here. I'm here. Glad to be. Well, I had to wait in line to get back in this place because this place is going to be a heck of a crowd here tonight. Glad you guys waited on me. I see you've got the Oreos. Tiffany's here. You and I are here.
This is a gift from Anthony Ainsley. Some
go.
double stuff.
Absolutely.
1F, like Will Harrington with 1L. Hey, racing action Friday night here at the Eagle Raceway. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights of everything that happened right here at Eagle one night ago.
We are underway in Eagle, Nebraska.
Popsicles for everybody if the 0-4 wins. Jonathan Davenport's going to go way high down in turns 1 and 2. He gets a monster run down the back straightaway. He wants to try to lead lap number 1. He came close to winning last night, and he's going to be the leader at the end of lap number 1. 32 laps to go. 8 laps in the books. It's a 40-lap main event. Here comes KB40 down to the inside. He may just move to Nebraska. He tosses that 40B around the one of Brandon Shepard, and then he shoves up the racetrack, the nose of the car, puts up the racetrack, and we got a battle for the lead, James.
Pospisil, now we pick up the tail of the field. Ian Whistler. Tad Pospisil trying to get one of the biggest upsets in the Lucas Oil 800 Series history. He is all over Davenport. Here comes Shepard. Here comes Bronson. We are in 10 laps in, 30 to go in Eagle.
And Jonathan Davenport having trouble trying to work around the back of the field in this one. What's your favorite popsicle, James?
Great.
Yes, bomb pop, strawberry shortcake. They'll all be passed around if Pospisil wins here tonight. All over the 49 of Jonathan Davenport, 11 laps into this one.
Into turn number 3. He's about 2 car lengths back, 0.3 of a second. Down the main straightaway behind the 6 of Harris. Bronson third, Shepard fourth, Overton, Thornton, Alberson, Bruning, Erb, and O'Neill your top 10, but all eyes up front on the 49. Tad Pospisil, no driver from the state of Nebraska has never won a Lucas Oil race.
Oh my!
Right? I'll have to look that up.
How about that?
It is good battle attitude, DJ. 13 in the books.
I trust you. I trust your judgment. I trust your judgment on that. 13 laps down, and Jonathan Davenport. Oh my, Pospisil, he slipped up coming off corner number 4, James. It allowed the 40B to go by. Now the 20RT, now the Rocket 1, the 76, they're all trying to work to the inside of the 0-4. That allowed Jonathan Davenport to stretch out his advantage. This time by at the stripe, though, Davenport's got a new contender in Kyle Bronson. Ricky Thornton Jr. is up to the 3rd spot. Lap traffic getting heavy in front of your race leader, Jonathan Davenport. Where does he go?
He's trying to go through the middle of McCowan. Last night, Soker tracking hard charges. He's going to throw it in on Sam Mars. He'll lose a little bit of momentum. Here comes 40B and 20RT as he clears Mars. Right now, Bronson, he'll have to get around the second generation racer. Here comes on the bottom, Thornton right behind Bronson. So it opens up a little bit of space. 2-lap cars between first and second off of 4.
Could be a candidate for the slicker graphic, slicker move of the race right there. Jonathan Davenport successfully putting 2-lap cars, maybe 3. Yes, 3-lap cars in between himself and the 40B of Kyle Bronson. Dalton Wilson hanging right there with him. Those drivers are racing for position as KB40 off the top rope on Sam Mars. Will work his way by. Now he'll try to work around the 18D of Dalton Wilson on the outside. While all this has happened, Jonathan Davenport is stretched out to a 1.9 second advantage with 15 to go.
Bronson still has the spot in second. Davenport works lap 30. 10 to go. The advantage is 1.2 seconds as Bronson throws the slider on Colin Weinbarger. Here comes Thornton down low. Thornton's thinking about it. Thornton's going to do it up top. He'll do it. Bronson with the crossover. They'll head into turn number 3. Can Thornton get second, DJ, with 10 to go? Look out. And he returns the favor. good battle there, buddy.
Yes.
Good battle, 10 to go. 9 to go now.
It sure is. No, and this happens just behind your race leader, Jonathan Davenport. No lap traffic now separating the 49 from the battle on your screen. You know neither one of these two cats are going to lift. 8 laps to go this time by, and it's still Jonathan Davenport. JD puts a few tenths on that time. It's an entertaining battle for the bridesmaid honors.
Yeah, Garrett Howson back there in 4th, Shepard 5th. Off at turn 4, JD cruising right along. It's 1.9 with 7 laps remaining. Bronson, Thornton spins out. Ricky Thornton Jr., not sure what happened, if he got in the wall or what happened off of 4, spins out.
Here he is. Here he is, bottom. Right side of the screen. Yeah, did he grab the, a little spark right there as well. Huh. Nutrient X Solutions restart zone. Jonathan Davenport in the 49. He was the runner-up last night, trying to do one spot better. Kyle Bronson was 3rd last night, trying to go a couple spots better. Hudson O'Neal down to the inside, trying to take 3rd away, and he does momentarily. He may not be done yet.
And out of turn 4, Davenport leads.
Garrett Alberson back around Brandon Shepard for the 4th spot. 4 laps to go. Alberson trying to get the low line working down in 1 and 2. 7/10 of a second. Still the advantage. Hudson O'Neal going to take 2nd away, and he'll make it official at the line. 3 to go.
These guys are putting on a show. Bronson's going to throw it in there. He's going to leave Hud some room. Maybe that was close. He bumped the cushion. Great battle for 2nd. Davenport says, see you later. And the Coleman Farms caution is out. And it is for your pole sitter, Tad Pospischal.
Superman leads him into the Nutrient X Solutions starting zone. Hud 2nd, Bronson 3rd.
Here we go. Davenport into 1. O'Neal's going to try the bottom. Davenport has got to hit his marks here. O'Neal a good run down the back straightaway. Bronson. Now Shepard has climbed to 4th. O'Neal on the bottom. They briefly go side by side. 2 to go. Give Davenport cannot jump the cushion, DJ. Whoa. Bumps in there. O'Neal on the bottom. Here comes KB40. They'll head to the Barrett's Performance. 1 lap to go. It's not over yet.
Bronson getting that 40B wound up. White flag in the air. Barrett's Performance. 1 to go. Could be too little too late for Hudson O'Neal, and a shot in the shorts from Kyle Bronson going into 1 and 2. KB40 going to look under him. Davenport too far away. Checkered flag in hand. The winner tonight at Eagle is going to be Superman Jonathan Davenport. 2nd goes to Hudson O'Neal. 3rd to Kyle Bronson. And that was a look at the Friday night action here just one night ago, as that driver right there, Dan, Jonathan Davenport, got the win, and he could be one of the favorites here tonight. Dan, without further ado, the IMCA sprints are making their way out. I'm going to stop. I'm going to hop off. You're going to tell folks who these guys are, and our good friend James Rowland's going to jump on here with you.
Indeed. Go get yourself a nice slice of Valentino's Pizza, a Nebraska tradition.
I'm glad we found James.
Absolutely. Now we got 2 James in the house. We're James squared. Speaking of that, your Nebraska Septic sprint cars on the racetrack and ready to go. Nebraska Septic, your #1 solution for a #2 problem. Veteran-owned and competitive pricing. Make sure to get to Nebraska Septic for all of your septic needs. First car we're looking at is the 23V from Chester, South Dakota in a GF1. Chassis powered by an engine shop racing engine, sponsored by Creek Plumbing, Fods Farms, and Gunderson Racing. That is the 23V of McCaleb Volts. Car number 2 out on the racetrack. She's one of the crowd favorites coming out of Lincoln, Nebraska, to Maxim Chassis and a Speedway Motors racing engine. Sponsored by Helga Construction, Hippo Equipment, and Carpet Land. That is the 03 of Shaylee Bade. On the screen now. On the screen now from Martell, Nebraska. From Lincoln, Nebraska. He's in an Eagle chassis and a Speedway Motors racing engine, sponsored by Rod's Auto Service and Down the Hatch Bar and Grill. That is the 14T of Tyler Hendrickson. Tyler Hendrickson in the 14T. Also out there from Papillion, Nebraska, he's in a CMB Wolfwell chassis powered by a Speedway Motor racing engine, sponsored by Sundown Homes, Mandy Benson with Real Estate Associates, and is your 2014 IMCA National Race Saver Champion, the 100. What did we decide to nickname him?
Oh, what did we decide to name him?
Was it the Big Show?
It was the Big Show.
The Big Show, Clint Benson. Clint Benson with a brand new nickname. Rolling through turns 1 and 2 from Papillion, Nebraska, powered by an Assassin Speedworks racing engine. That is the 3T of Dan Satriano. Dan Satriano in the 3T.
Dan was telling us a little while ago that he's in that ride permanently until he gets fired.
Until he gets fired, right? Everyone's in a ride permanently until they get fired. Coming out of Omaha, Nebraska, he's in a XXX chassis and an Assassin Weiler racing engine, sponsored by K&W Collection, Suzy Q Design, and Weller Racing. That is the 4W of Nitro, Nate Weiler. Probably one of the more decorated drivers in the field, from Eagle, Nebraska, and a J&J chassis and a Speedway Motors racing engine, sponsored by Forbes Motorsports, Cherney Enterprises, American Trailer Company, and Druki Trucking. 4-time Eagle Raceway track champion, Eagle Raceway Nationals champion, and IMCA National champion. That is the Duke, Tyler Druki, in the 12 machine. One of his crew members that works for Druki Trucking and Racing, coming out of O'Neill, Nebraska, and a Maxim chassis, sponsored by Terps Automotive, Druki Trucking, and Hometown Repair. That is the 32 of Trevor Waller. Trevor Waller in the 32. One of our favorite guys to talk to. He busts his butt Monday through Sunday to get his car out onto the racetrack. Out of Lincoln, Nebraska, he's in a Maxim chassis and a Speedway Motors racing engine. Seeking sponsorship today, it is the 2A of Alex Salzman. Alex Salzman in the 2A. And we're back to the 23V of McCaleb Volts.
Good looking field. IMCA Race Saver sprint cars in the house tonight. 35 of them brought to you by Nebraska Septic.
Absolutely, Nebraska Septic, one of our great sponsors for the sprint cars the last couple of years. This young lady knocked off a couple of wins last year at America's Home Track.
Took home a couple of those Gatsby Glass Party On Awards. I tell you what, she can do a cyclone spin like the Gravedigger.
Absolutely. We were just missing, she said she was going to work on it maybe for this year, steering wheel out the window.
There you go, Kyle Larson style.
Yeah, out the window. There's a window on the cars apparently.
Yeah, that's, well, there's an area that's visible, but
right.
No windows in dirt racing.
Good shot there of the 12 of Tyler Druki. Again, he's probably one of the favorites for tonight. What was that, 22? Had that great race, winning the Race Saver Nationals out of turn 4. Back and forth between him and John Carney.
Yeah, that one was definitely one for the record books. I think I have that one burned on a hard drive.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Tyler Druki's, like I said, one of the more decorated drivers still racing. Mike Boston not in the house tonight. He is a 7-time champion. Probably the second most decorated driver that comes to races at Eagle Raceway.
I thought I did see him on the My Race Pass app a little while ago.
Well,
I hate to admit it, but I bypassed him in the Fantasy Challenge.
Uh-oh. I got to get my fantasy picks in.
Oh, and this is all documented. People are going to be able to snip that. They're going to know. Let's see. Did you get your fantasy picks in?
Not yet. I got to do that.
Yeah,
real
you
quick.
better catch up. And the boss, Mike Boston, is in the house in the 45H.
Ooh, the Steve Hurst machine.
That's right.
Doing a little bit of track packing as we're getting this track ready to go for Hot Lap session number 1 of your Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars. I know a lot of fans that are in the Nebraska area and the Iowa area also live on farms. And so if you've got septic needs, make sure to give Nebraska Septic a call today. Number 1 solution for number 2 problem.
You know, I've always heard that life on the farm is kind of laid back. Well, I can tell you that it's not laid back when you're having septic trouble.
We've had it a couple times when I was growing up on the farm. I wish we could have called Nebraska Septic.
Probably your fault.
Veteran owned and competitive pricing with Nebraska Septic. Here we go, Caden Murray getting them rolling for Hot Lap session number 1 in your Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars. Fastest time for hot lap session number 1 is the 23V of Caleb Volts. Trevor Waller coming in second, ran a 13.662. By the way, 13.541 for Caleb Volts. Clint Benson, 13.704. He was third quickest. Tyler Drucke, 13.769. And then Tyler Hendrickson at a 13.823 was your 5th fastest for hot lap session numero uno. Rolling out on the speedway for hot lap session number 2.
It's the driver out of Lincoln, Nebraska, in a JR1 chassis with a Speedway Racing engine, sponsored by KRL Motorsports, Stevenson Truck and RV Repair, and Mr. Yards and More. In the 5 machine, it's Superman Stu Snyder.
Right inside of him, nosed into turn number 3, about ready to get pushed off by the East F's Wheels push truck team. Out of Fremont, Nebraska, in a JR1 chassis and a Myers Racing engine, sponsored by RHS Metals, B&B Seamless Gutters, and 3J Motorsports. That is a 17 of Justin Bolte. Justin Bolte in the 17 machine. Out of Lincoln, Nebraska, he is a 7-time Eagle Raceway track champion. Got a good look at him there in the 45. The Steve Hurst number 45 machine. That is the boss, Mike Boston.
Also out there, a guy that's really been hitting on the Hard Charger Awards so far this season. He's out of Bennett, Nebraska. It's an Eagle chassis with a Speedway Motors Racing engine, sponsored by Fast Track Farms Trucking, Mueling Financial, and Buda Concrete in the 35. It's TG Trevor Grossenbacher.
Next up, out of Martell, Nebraska, and Helix chassis and a Speedway Motors Racing engine, sponsored by 5.9's, Colby Ridge, and Ironwood Builders. It is the 14G of Gene Acklin.
Next up, guy picked up the feature win out here at America's Home Track last Saturday night. He hails out of Omaha, Nebraska. It's a XXX chassis with a Horton Racing engine, sponsored by Edwards Auto Group, Kapu Forage and Turf, and Tap Solutions Group. In the 1B, it's Brandon Horton.
And I apologize to his sponsors. That is Cop Forage Group, Turf. I had a typo there.
It happens. You did a masterful job of trying to pronounce it.
Too many times by these fingers that have definitely been swollen by funnel cake fries.
Ah, that'll happen. You'll have that on them big city jobs.
35 Nebraska Septic Race Saver Sprint Cars racing for 3,000 to win, and a 3-wide start tonight. Next up, out of Omaha, Nebraska, he's in an Eagle chassis and a Moss Racing engine, sponsored by Electrical Systems Incorporated, Gorgeous Volvo, and Lyle's Tire and Wheels. It is the 35L of Ty Ledger. Ty Ledger in the 35L.
Next up, out of Lincoln, Nebraska, 2-time Eagle Raceway track champion Sinead chassis with a Speedway Motors Racing engine, sponsored by Neff Towing, Climatech Heating, and Suncoat Design in the 4X. It's the Catfish, Jason Danley.
Old Mr. 2-time. Next up, out of Lincoln, Nebraska, in a Maxim chassis and a Matt Richards Racing engine, sponsored by J&K Trucking, Lincoln Auto Painting, and Benchmark Excavating. It is the 11 Rock and Roll Billy Alley. Billy Alley in the number 11 machine. Cade Murray giving him the signal to pick things up and get hot lap session number 2 underway. We'll get you some times as they start to tick off. First times out, Ty Ledger, 13.639. Billy Alley ran a 13.648 on his first lap. Jason Danley, now Stu Snyder, Superman Stu Snyder rolling to the top of the charts, 13.576. Stu Snyder in the 13.576. 3-time Malvern Bank 360 track series champion. There goes Legos Jr. in the 17X machine. He goes to the top of the charts, 13.212.
Man, Lee Goes has been another one of those guys really on the hammer so far in the 2025 season. Another one of those that's always up there for that Speedway Motors Hard Charger Award. Looks like that's going to do it for this hot lap set for your Nebraska Septic Race Saver Sprint Cars. Next group getting ready to get pushed out as the rest of them wheel off.
And Legos Jr. Officially the fastest car, 13.212 for that session. Hot lap session number 3 getting pushed out onto the racetrack. Talked to this guy before the races, said he felt really good about tonight. hoping to cash that $3,000 check. He's coming to you out of O'Neill, Nebraska, in a Maxim chassis and a Barnyard Racing engine, sponsored by Pritchett, Twine, and Net Wrapping. Shad's Electric and Sunny Day. That is the 22D of the Doc, Danny Nicolite.
Next up, he's out of Armour, South Dakota. It's a Sinead chassis with a Wells Racing engine, sponsored by Workweld, Rex Winkle Concrete, and Central Plains Automation in the 31. It's Kobe Workmeister.
Outside of them, in turn number 3, a former track champion, 2022, I believe.
22 or 23. It's kind of like that Druki Raysaver Nationals. 22 or 23, you know, we've been at it for so long, it kind of run together.
Well, he comes out of Martell, Nebraska, and he's in an Eagle chassis and a Myers Racing engine, sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting. Myers Racing engine is an Adam Automotive. That is the 14 of Joey Danley.
Next up, out of Lincoln, Nebraska, in a Maxim chassis with a Tornado Racing engine. He's sponsored by Midwest Petroleum, Brenning Painting, and Big Pickle Trucking in the 91. They call him the Bull. It's Adam Gullion.
2021 track champion was Adam Gullion. Next up, in the number 23 machine out of Rock Rapids, Iowa, in a Maxim chassis and a Myers Racing engine, sponsored by Tender Bison, Papik Motors, and Waffles Hybrids. That is the 23, Brendan Bosma. Brandon Bosma in the 23.
Next up, he's out of South Bend, Nebraska, in a XXX chassis with a Myers Racing engine. He's sponsored by SNL Trenching, Avid Realty by Kyle Gabriel, and Tailored Computers and Repair in the 25. It's Top Gun, Gunner Pike.
She's coming out of Vale, Iowa, in an Eagle chassis and a Myers Racing engine, sponsored by Dennison Drywall, Volkritz Camper Sales, and Brews Farms. A Crawford County Speedway track champion, the number 28. That is Maddie Miller. Maddie Miller in the 28.
Next up, out of Oskaloosa, Iowa, in a XXX chassis with a Tornado Racing engine, sponsored by Ron Thomas Racing in the 6 machine. Welcome back to Eagle Raceway, Mason Day. Mason Day in car number 6.
Once again, Colby Workmeister in the 31, making the drive south from South Dakota. He's got a permanent spot for weekly racing. And we always hate to be the backup plan, but we're definitely the backup plan for the 31 machine. Whenever his tracks up home get rained out, he's got a permanent parking spot at America's Home Track on Saturday nights. Enjoys racing down here, and said he's excited about this 3-wide start for tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. He's hung out with us for a couple of Raysaver Nationals. Unfortunately, as you say, getting the fuzzy end on a couple of lollipops with that deal, but he's definitely been a stout competitor here amongst weekly competition. He's been pretty stout at the Raysaver Nationals as well. You know, sometimes things just don't fly your way, so hoping for a little bit different luck tonight for the 31 of Kobe Workmeister. The Doc, Danny Nicolite, licensed chiropractor from around, well, not really from around the area. He's a little bit more western Nebraska. Mm-hmm. Well, in the meantime, we'll let the Doc get to driving and worry about backcracking later on. Let you guys enjoy the sound of Nebraska's Septic Raysaver sprint cars.
Don't have the information for this driver, but the 20D of
Jacob Dye.
Thank you. We got to talk to Jacob. It's the first time he's racing America's Home Track this year. So Jacob Dye in that beautiful, I really like that paint scheme, 20D.
Yeah, super sharp looking race car. The pink, blue, and black. That's kind of been his standardized paint scheme for as long as I can remember. But this year, his Ratman really knocked it out of the park on that 20D. Once again, another guy great to have back in the house, Jacob Dye.
Lap number 1 in the books. Colby Workmeister is the fastest car, 13:019. James, we're slowing down, or we're speeding those lap times up just a little bit. Those lap times are really creeping down below the 13-second mark. I think we'll get there before long.
Oh, I think you're absolutely correct, man. You can watch this track just get wider and wider as the laps go on. Just off screen, we saw the 14 machine. That's the Empire Netting and Fence vehicle of Joey Danley.
Brandon Bosma put down the second fastest lap with a 13:251. Joey Danley third. Adam Gullion fourth, and Gunner Pike fifth. Gunner Pike picked up his first win of the year last week, I believe.
I'll tell you what Gunner didn't pick. A good draw.
He did not get a good draw.
I believe drew 98 out of 100 on the evening for the 25 from that last hot lap session. First car up to get pushed off for your hot lap session number next. Hails out of Papillion, Nebraska. It's a Spike chassis with a Speedway Motors racing engine. He's sponsored by Bradco Companies, Torqued Automotive, and Gina V Physical Therapy. In the 15V, it's the Coltrane, Cole Vanderheiden.
About ready to get pushed off by the E-Steps push truck team coming in out of Fremont, Nebraska, a Maxim chassis and an Assassin Speeds racing engine, sponsored by Assassin Speedworks. Roger and Paige Hayden and T3 Fabrication is the 2T. We saw him in action Thursday night. He's back tonight. That is Cameron Thompson. Cameron Thompson in the 2T. Dylan Waxdahl in the number 8 machine, or the number X machine, excuse me. Don't have the sponsor information on that car. So we got a little bit of work to do. Dylan Waxdahl in the X machine. This is why we pulled in the backup tonight. I'm still having trouble talking.
You know, an 8 and an X look a lot similar if you just put the hoops over the end of them. Next car out of Lincoln, Nebraska, in a Triple X chassis with a Speedway Motors racing engine, sponsored by Hertz Car Rental, Cherney Enterprises, and Zaz Farms. In the 18W, it's Kid Lightning, Cole Wayman. Cole Wayman in the 18W.
Then you've got the 8B machine coming out of Denton, Nebraska, and a Helix chassis and a Speedway Motors racing engine, sponsored by Speedway Motors, Angle Machine and Tools, and Bully Brand. That is the 8B of Caden Thurman. Caden Thurman in the 8B.
You know, I don't think they have awards for best tow rig, but Dylan Thurman would win.
Old school
crew cab.
Caden Thurman.
Yep.
The 9A machine coming out of Lakefield, Minnesota, and a Maxim chassis and an RTR racing engine, sponsored by Jansen Trucking, Wasner Ag Supply, and Cranston Construction. The 9A, first time out of Eagle Raceway. That is Hunter Hansen. Hunter Hansen in the 9A out of Lakefield, Minnesota.
Yeah, making the long haul tonight. We talked to him a little bit before the races. Only 5 show. This will be show number 5 on his tour for 2025. Great to have him in the house. Not
only first time at America's Home Track this year, but anytime. This is his first time in America's Home Track. I asked him about the 3 wide, and he looked a little nervous.
Yeah, just a skosh. Next up, out of Fort Calhoun, Nebraska, it's a Triple X chassis with a Speedway Motors racing engine, sponsored by Abe's Trash Service, InSource Financial, and Lyle's Tires and Wheels in the 77X. That's John Klabunde.
Cade Murray gives him the green flag for Hot Lap session number 3 in your Nebraska Septic Sprint cars. Once again, 35 of these checked in. Choo Choo goes to the top of the charts. 13,333. Take that to the casino. Now Cole Wayman with a 13,333.
All right, so we're kind of on this thing with 3s tonight. 3,000 to win, 3 wide start, 13,333. There's a whole lot of doing it for Dale going on here tonight.
Checkered flag waves. That closes out Hot Lap session number 3. John Klabunde, 13,244 in the 77X machine. John Klabunde, fastest trash hauler in the Midwest.
Yeah, and that he's been doing it forever. John was a longtime runner in the 360 ranks, and that old dog still got a lot of hunt left in him.
He is a Chili Bowl fanatic. And John Klabunde running a 13,244 to close out Hot Lap session number 3. And I believe that is going to do it for your Nebraska Septic Sprint cars. Looks like you've got your Lucas Oil late models sitting up in the Midwest Racing Performance Valco Racing Wheels staging area. So we'll turn it back over to the professionals.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series here at Eagle Raceway in Eagle, Nebraska. First session of Dirt Draft Hot Laps making its way to the racetrack. We've lost James Essex again. He's, he is signing autographs. It's not hard to believe. First car on the speedway is going to be Brandon Overton in that Riggs Motorsports Longhorn Factory Team Heartbeat Hot Sauce. Napa Auto Parts sponsored number 76 for Brandon Overton. Currently comes into the event fifth in the Lucas Oil 8 Model Dirt Series point standings. There's a 7D of Dusty Leonard out of Marysville, Kansas, and that Bryce Leonard Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's a Sweet Treat Bakery Dargy-powered rocket chassis for Dusty Leonard in the 7D. Next driver on your screen is going to be the 28. He had a good qualifying effort and heat race run last night. That's Sam Mars, the second-generation driver out of Menominee, Wisconsin, in the Deputy Enterprises Fight Disposal TL Signs Plumbing sponsored Mars race car for Sam Mars. The 8, the Hoker Trucking. James, you did not get the door shut. The Hoker Trucking hard charger here. It's a comedy of errors here tonight, folks. The 8, that's going to be Dylan McCowan out of Urbana, Missouri, the former Lucas Oil Speedway champion on the Scott Bailey powered Infinity chassis with Sonic Drive-In, Palmore Services, Empire Energy on the side of the 8 for Dylan McCowan.
Sorry about it. Good to see you. I was letting Bronson's cat out. Pospisil, he was on the pole last night. Tad Pospisil out of Norfolk, Nebraska in the 04 car. There's last night's winner, his 87th career win in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, the Nutrient Solutions ASE warranty Cornet-powered Longhorn. That is Jonathan Davenport. Jonathan Davenport out of Blairsville, Georgia. Only 15 behind, as you mentioned earlier, the points leader, Ricky Thorne Jr. How about the tie in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase? McIntosh right there, Donald McIntosh and Daniel Hilsebeck.
Yes. Dalton Wilson, the big perm on your screen, that James Jennifer and Justin Ratcliffe Racing number 18D, and one other driver on the track for this session of Dirt Draft Top Laps. Fear the Golden Beard out of Decorah, Iowa, and the Greg Bruning Skyline Motorsports number 16. That is Tyler Bruning.
So right now, Dalton Wilson, 13.803. Switched motors yesterday. Right now comes into tonight, 8th in the championship series points. There's Dusty Leonard. The 7 out of Marysville, Kansas, lost a wheel in hot laps last night. But it's Dalton Wilson, 13.803. Set your Dirt Draft DJ. Get the app. Go to dirtdraft.com. You've got $100,000 in play money to mess with. Pick your top 5. Who is your dog pick of the night?
I think my dog of the night's going to be Sammy Mars. He's coming in at 19,000. He started in the first 3 rows last night. Just his second night on the racetrack. He's learned a little more about it. I think at 19K, Sam Mars is DJ's dog of the night.
You love that yellow too. Reminds you of Bart Hartman, right?
Yes, that's right. The Reaper.
How about the 58 car, the Sunoco Rachel's Mesilla Valley Transportation Low Voltage Solutions entry for Ken and Beth Roberts. And is Garrett Alberson. Garrett Alberson, the track record holder here at Eagle at 13.292. He is currently 4th in the championship points.
There's the 14S of Colin Weinbarger. 15 wins across 3 divisions a year ago for the Corbett, Oregon driver of the Schramm Brothers Excavating, Checker Flag Asphalt, Clemens-powered Longhorn. Hey, good to see Snowdrift back with us, James. Blair Nodorf back in action here tonight.
Yes, had some right front suspension damage and involved in an incident the other night. And the Bargain Barn Tire Center Asphalt Pros entry, he is out of Renner, South Dakota for Blair Nodorf. And they're, I'm just here for the interviews, my friends. Now hailing out of Brandon, Nebraska, which there is a Brandon, Nebraska. Atomic Music Group into Race Car Engineering. He's been on the podium the last 2 nights out of Brandon, Florida. That is Kyle Bronson. Kyle Bronson in the 40B.
Clay Harris in the 6 on your speedway. And that
He's from Florida, too. He might move to Nebraska. Heck, I don't know.
He might. You never know. The Wilkerson Farms Impact Electrical Services National Fragile X sponsored number 6, the 07 of Ben Sukup out of Norfolk, Nebraska. In the Swartz car, as James would say, the Spud Trucking Power Sports Auto Quality Siding sponsored 07 for Ben Sukup. Causeyville, Mississippi, Spencer Hughes on the racetrack in that Colton Miller, JCM Motorsports, Yellowhammer Design and Construction, sponsored at number 19M.
Remember Spuds McKenzie?
Yes, I do remember. I was a big Spuds McKenzie fan. I loved Spuds McKenzie. He was like the coolest dog back in the day. How about the dog that was parading around the track outside turn 1 at Batesville last week?
Todd Turner, that's why it was late. I was talking to Todd Turner the Hall of Famer there a while back for about an hour and a half, and he showed the video. That was man, that was sketchy, wasn't it?
And about as sketchy as the police showing up at an Airbnb at 12:30 in the morning.
I was waiting for you to appear on Dateline NBC or something here coming up.
I mean, I was about to be.
Wow. There's Garrett Alberson, 13.583, 13583. That's 0.3 of a second off the track record, so not bad at all. And it's 13.292. He said that here last July. Remember, this was the first National Touring Series here in 20 years when we came here 1 year ago. There's a driver at the top 10 last night. In the Langenfelder Mechanical First Class Septic #1 for best performance, that is Tyler Erb. Turbo currently 9th in the series points. Now remember, he is not, or 10th, he is not eligible for provisional because he did not do the loyalty deposit. Plus he missed a race. You cannot miss a race to remain perfect attendance to be able to run for the championship. There's the 20 RT. Man, got into the front stretch wall, broke the steering rack, right?
Yep.
And so out for the race last night, 22nd place finish, so his points lead has shrunk to 15 over Jonathan Davenport. How about Hudson O'Neal? What, 4 out of the last 6 races, he's been the Hoker Trucking Hard Charger. Now that's quite an honor in itself.
It is.
But
He would like to start up closer to the front.
Start closer to the front in the SSI Motorsports Big River Steel car. There's the Hoopaw Grading Live Oak Aesthetic. I always had a tough time saying that word, aesthetic.
I just say
And
aesthetic.
Family Dentistry. Coleman Farms, that is Carson Ferguson. Carson Ferguson currently 9th in the championship points, DJ.
There's Daniel Hilsebeck. We saw earlier he's tied for the current O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year lead in that Banning Chiropractic Big Deal Car Care 22 Enterprises #22, the Earl of Iowa driver. There's another all-red entry on the speedway, Dylan Silliman out of Alva, Nebraska. Picked up his first career SLMR win with the Malvern Bank Series at Warrensburg, Central Missouri a few weeks back. That Scott Bailey-powered rocket chassis, the S&S welding entry. There's the young man that drives for the legendary Al Humphrey. That is Jake Neal out of Omaha, Nebraska.
Don't forget Loring. Don't forget Loring.
Yes, that's right, absolutely. The Triple S Motorsports Top Body and Glass sponsored rocket chassis for Jake Neal. And there is the 18 of Jesse Sobbing out of Malvern, Iowa. Pro Power rocket for Carl and Tracy Geschman.
He's down to 1B. He's down to 1B. There's 2 Bs in the top.
My. Yes.
Like we talked about Will Harrington earlier.
He's so big.
It's so big. Yes. I might pick him as a dog.
There you go. Ian Whistler, you just saw there on the screen in the...
Got into show last night as a fast time provisional.
in the 28, absolutely.
I'll tell you what, that track record, 13.414 right now by Turbo. Thornton at 13.5656. So he and Bronson, what a terrific battle later for second, right? I mean, they were going back and forth, had a good clean race, and then coming off before Ricky got in the wall and the steering rack, he spun, he could not. That's what he was banging on the steering wheel, right? You thought maybe he was mad at somebody, but he wasn't.
About like someone banging on your door at 12:30 in the morning.
Man, I heard the story on that one. Wow. How about Dan Ebert? He's right now 3rd in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase. The Collins Brothers Towing Minnesota truck number 60 out of Lakeshore, Minnesota for Dan Ebert, the former snowmobile racer, winter X Game participant. And again, we've talked about him. His dad used to work for the great Dick Trickle. Yes, there's a guy last night, electrical issues for Dylan Thornton, DJ.
Yes, Dilly in that Ricky and Brenda Kai at number 38T. That's what Ricky Kai told us at the Casey's down the road last night. The Peterson Insurance, Kai Farms, Salty's Barbecue and Catering, DEA, Pit Crew Barbecue, Hooker Trucking, Longhorn. There's the Valvoline Rocket 1 of Brandon Shepard out of New Berlin, Illinois, a 2-time winner this year. And that Swaber Cat Francis, Petroff Towing, Performance Grading, Ace Metalworks, Gunner's Honey, sponsored number 1. Devin Moran in this set of dirt drive top laps. 3rd in the series point standings in that Roger Sellers owned Double Down Motorsports, Lazy Days RV, Big River Steel, C&W Trucking, Longhorn, Devin Moran.
There's the 15, the Lucas Oil Black Diamond. That is Clayton Stuckey. Clay Stuckey out of Shreveport, Louisiana, for his dad, Ronnie Stuckey. And again, I'm sure his brother Jarrett watching and getting good news.
Yes.
And they said that they might bring him to watch it, the Topless 100 coming up in August for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. But good news for him. And has had health issues for a while now. But Jarrett, man, we're all thinking about you and praying for you. And hopefully we'll see you back at the track soon. There's Corey Lawler, Poncho's son, PBC Lubricants Entry Longhorn out of Hanover, Pennsylvania.
There's the 30. Good to see Jordan Grabowski back with us in that Vic Hill powered rocket chassis for Whistler Construction, the Meredith Logging all-purpose storage. Otis Market and Fuel sponsored number 30 for the former, the multi-time IMCA national champ, both in a mod and a stock car, Jordan Grabowski. What are you losing, James? You have papers flying all over the place.
Well, last year I had the garage door open up here, so now we're into the trailer.
To be fair, it was 114 here. That was at our race last year.
Well, the wind. Did you read the article? Was it Todd Turner? And he does such a great job journalism. 30% of the energy is wind energy driven in the state of Nebraska. 30%. How about that?
I mean,
yesterday was 100% the last 2 days.
they generated 10 of that 30% yesterday.
Yeah.
How about Dan Ebert,
yes,
man?
close.
Dan Ebert, 13.395.
A tenth of a second off the track record. Brandon Shepard, 13.456.
Clay Stuckey, third quick in that Dirt Draft Hot Lap session. That's cool. All right, coming up next, it's going to be All-Star Performance Time Trials. Great crowd funneling in here at Eagle Raceway. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final night of racing action here at Eagle Raceway in Eagle, Nebraska for the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist. And James, it's time to get underway with All-Star Performance Time Trials.
Thank you. Brandon Overton's going to be a first in the 76 out of Evans, Georgia, followed by the 18D Dalton Wilson out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, and the 28 made his first Lucas Oil race last night, Sam Mars out of Menominee, Wisconsin. Overton, he is in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Dude Wipes, Review S, Carto Southern, Napa Auto Parts, Riggs Motorsports, Longhorn Clements, Dalton Wilson, the Grant Lee Farms, MG Auto Sales, the Auto Outlet, Innovative Community Solutions, Counter Contracting, JR Motor Sales, B&F Construction, Longhorn Clements, Sammy Mars, the Vite Disposal, Deputy Enterprises, Mike Sale Insurance, TL Sense Plumbing, MB Customs, Pro Power.
Sam Mars quickest right now. He is 2/10 off the track record. We could see that thing go down tonight. Overton second, quick, Dalton Wilson third. Second lap time for Sam Mars, not as good. Second lap time for, that was a second lap time for Brandon Overton and Dalton Wilson. So DJ's dog of the night. Sam Mars quickest after 3, James 13483.
Dusty Leonard up next, DJ's out of Marysville, Kansas in the Bryce Leonard Farm Financial Services, 7D Longhorn, TaylorMade Performance Rocket Darjeeling, followed by Jonathan Davenport out of Blairsville, Georgia, the Double Motorsports Longhorn Corvette, Nutrient Ag Solutions, Dynagrow Seed, ASC Warranty, Mark Martin Automotive, Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas, and Tyler Brenning The Quick Supply Company, Truck Country, Olson Explosives, Bruning Rock Products, Brown's Heavy Equipment, Infinity by Wells Clements for Skyline Motorsports.
First lap time's going to go up. Jonathan Davenport second quick on lap number 1. The lifetime, I'm going to have to use your monitor over there because it is way more up to date than what my iPad is right now. Dusty Leonard 5th, Tyler Bruning 6th. Bruning coming around to the checkered flag in his second lap time. And Bruning's second lap is going to be good enough for third quick. So Sam Mars, Jonathan Davenport, Tyler Bruning. Now your top 3, 1-3-4-8-3, the time to beat.
Up next, the driver currently tied with Daniel Hilzebeck in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase. Out of Dawsonville, Georgia, it'll be Donald McIntosh. In the 79, he's in the Billy Hicks Racing, H&H Auto Sales, Coleman Farms Racing, Nobody Walks, NC, Longhorn Clements, followed by Tad Pospisil, last night's Victory Field Pole Center out of Norfolk, Nebraska, the Longhorn Scott Bailey. And the One Source Solutions, Dietz Well and Pumps, Tucasa Mexican Restaurant, Window World, Signor Trucking, TB and Company Carpentry Services, and Dylan McCowan. The hard charger here on Thursday night in the Midwest Sheet Metal, Sonic America's Drive-In, Pomeroy Services, BLC Transportation, Mel Hamilton, Ford Heritage Tractor, Empire Energy, Infinity by Wells, Scott Bailey, number 8.
So Dylan McCowan is going to be 9th. Tad Pospisil is going to be 7th. Checkered flag in the air on this session. Donald McIntosh, 6th quick. Best lap for him is 13660. Pospisil, 7th quick, 13712, and you see the 8 gets off the gas coming across the line. Dylan McCowan, 9th quick, 13811. 9 drivers have attempted a lap. They're gunning for Sam Mars at a 13.483.
Up next, DJ with the track record. It'll be Garrett Alberson, 13292. He is in the Ken and Beth Roberts Low Voltage Solutions Incorporated, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Sunoco Race Fuels, Roman Machine, Titan Racing, Dickey's Doghouse. I don't want to be in Dickey's Doghouse, do you? I don't want
the Doghouse a lot.
Cheap Car, New Next Solutions, Bill Sports Shop, Done Right TV, Longhorn Clements, Chase Young Hands, in the Bozard Ford, Otis Oil Company, Young Hands Motorsports, Sunoco, Integra, Young Hands Ranches, Rocket Clements, and Colin Weinbarger, the Swan Island Sheet Metal Works, Donna Frio, Skyline Ford, Schramm Brothers Excavating, Checkered Flag Asphalt, Reed's Automotive, Longhorn Cornet, 14S.
New track record. Garrett Alberson lowers his own track record, 13041. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Second lap time, Chase Young Hands 11th quick, 13729. And Colin Weinbarger's best lap. Don't know that I got that in front of me.
13602.
Yes, 7th quick, thank you, 13601. There it is, new track record holder Eagle. Garrett out, not a new track record holder, the same track record holder. New time, 13041.
Up next will be the 19M, Marita, Mississippi. Spencer Hughes, the JCM Motorsports Colton Miller owned car, Yellowhammer Design and Construction, Clyburn Take Lines, Neon Bubbles Car Wash, Lone Star Super Gas, Extreme Graphics, Torco Race Fuels. That is the Indiana USSSA Fast Pit Softball, Rocket J, Dickens, Blair, Nodorf, the Bargain Barn Tire Center, Grandpa Ben's Ranch, Western Provisions, KDD Maloney Real Estate, Slicker Graphics, Asphalt Pros, Hal Plumbing, Glanzer Trucking, Rocket Clements, and Ben Sukup at the Swites Pro Power, Power Sports Nation, First Class Citizens, or First Citizens Bank, Spud Trucking, Spuds, Snowy Range, and Adventure.
Snowdrift, he's 2nd quick, James. He is 2nd quick, Ben Sukup 3rd. Or not 13th, I'm sorry. Snowdrift, 2nd lap time, not as good. Sukup, 2nd lap time, better, but he stays 13th, 13.796. 3 drivers left to qualify. Snowdrift, 13419 is 0.4 of a second faster for Garrett Alberson. He should change that B to a P.
Kyle Bronson out of Brandon, Florida. 2 third places in a row. The Atomic Music Group, Race Car Engineering, Borster's Equipment, Lucas Oil, Michael Lloyd Hauling, LTX Home Builders, Angry Elephant Tattoos, Longhorn Clements, Clay Harris. He is at Wilkerson Farms, Impact Electrical, Done Right Construction, National Fragile X, Longhorn Durham and Junior Cooper, the Norfolk Motor Company, Black Diamond Dargy.
7th quick for Bronson, 14th quick for Clay Harris. Junior Coover is 18th, lap 2. For Kyle Bronson, checkered flag in the air. He stays 7th, 13570. Second lap time for Clay Harris, a little better, 12th quick, 13714. And Bernard Coover Jr. Second lap a tick better, 18th quick, 14.578. That is unofficially a wrap on All-Star Performance Time Trials Group A. Garrett Alberson lowers his own track record. He was 0.4 quicker than anybody in All-Star Performance Time Trials Group A, 13041. Snowdrift, 2nd quick. You're shut off.
Welcome back, Blair Nodorf. I'll say it again.
Sam Mars.
Good for him.
Yes, yes, and Jonathan Davenport. Fort Quick, as long as those times hold up, those 4 drivers will start on the front row of heat races 1 and 2 a little bit later on tonight. You see the rest of the top 10 there on your screen. We're going to send those drivers back to the pit area. We will wipe the slate clean, and we will qualify the second half of the field.
Still rolling in here. What do we got?
You knew it was going to be a big boy crowd.
Oh, yeah. Well, Alberson, remember, he left here with a track record and he went to Shelby County and set a track record.
Yes, he did.
Last year. Group B, which will be heats 3 and 4 tonight as we battle for $50,000, $150,000 feature purse tonight here in the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist. It'll be Jesse Sobbing, the veteran driver, up first. He's out of Malvern, Iowa. He's in the Hertz. Sherwood-Williams, All Makes Collision Center, 50-car renter, dollar rent-a-car, RSA Trucking. That's a Rocket Pro Power, followed by the 35D out of Alvo, Nebraska. That'll be Dylan Silman. Dylan Silman, the SNS Welding, where he works at, by the way, SNS.
Yes, he does.
Of course, builds the rigs. Dirt Track Bank, Corn Grower State Bank, Fox Shock, Strike Farms, Rocket Scott Bailey in this 71. 4 out of the last 6 Lucas Oil races. He's been the Hoker Trucking Hard Charger out of Martinsville, Indiana.
My. Oh, my. Look at that parking lot here at Eagles.
It's only 6:45 local time, right?
It's got time to get here.
You got time to get here. SSI Motorsports for Hudson O'Neill. The Big River Steel, Wheeler Metals, Merrill Bonding Company, Subsurface of Indiana, Provincial Concrete, Cutting and Drilling, Westside Tractor, Dyno One, O'Neill Salvage and Recycling, Indiana USSSA, Fast Pitch Softball, Bob and Tammy Burton, Herscher's Insurance Group, Bobcat of Batesville, Sunoco, Longhorn Clements, 71.
Did you send a dirt draft lineup, by the way? What's the all Nebraska lineup look like?
Kyle Burke.
It has to be Kyle Burke.
If you put all the Kasiskis in there, you got it filled up right there, right?
There you go, Kyle Burke and the Kasiskis.
And I'm going to add Kyle Bronson at some point when he becomes a native.
It sounds like a music group, Kyle Burke and the Kasiskis.
That's right.
Coming to a theater near you.
Hey, I want to send all of our best wishes. I know down at Somerset, Kentucky and London, Kentucky had some rough weather there last night, some tornadoes, and they did unfortunately have some fatalities. So our thoughts are a great, just a lot of very good people obviously down there. Great racing area for many, many years, and our thoughts and prayers to them. I know they had a tornado up by Bloomington, Indiana as well last night. So thoughts and prayers to everyone involved in that and the rough weather that was in the Midwest there in the South last night.
Yeah, you are absolutely right about that. All right, there's Jesse Sobbing in the 18S on your screen. The Geschman family-owned car, the 35S, or 35D rather. Dylan Silman, as James mentioned, making his way out on the new deal. Hudson O'Neill, the winner here 1 year ago, first lap time. Going to go up for Jesse Sobbing, 13590. That's a good lap. Dylan Silman, 13774. And Hudson O'Neill, 13777. So Sobbing, can he be DJ's dog of the night? Second lap, not as good. He'll stay atop the leaderboard. Dylan Silman trying to trump him. He will not. Best lap, 13774. He is second, and Hudson O'Neill goes to second quick with a 13740. So after 3 cars in Group B, Jesse Sobbing, 13590, the early time to beat.
Leon Whistler made it in on a fast time provisional last night in his first Lucas race out of Otis, Oregon. He's in the Otis Market and Fueling, Not Works Construction, Meredith Lodging, Whistler Construction, All-Purpose Storage, Rocket Vic Hill, followed by Daniel Hilsebeck in the Manning Chiropractic, 22 Enterprises, Big Deal Car Care, Hilsebeck Farms, Finish Line, Body and Paint, Adams Snow Removal, Alley Auto Sales, Capital Clements, and Ricky Thornton Jr., the Hoker Trucking, Knights Companies, Coleman Farms Racing, Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Elite Ready Mix, Capital Waste, Longhorn Clements.
Daniel Hilsebeck goes second on his first qualifying lap. RTJ to the top of the leaderboard, 13367. And Ian Whistler sixth quick, 13904. Second lap time for Daniel Hilsebeck, not as good. Second lap time for Ricky Thornton Jr., not as good either. Ian Whistler, he does not trip the trigger on lap number 2. So RTJ now the time to beat in Group B, James, 13.367.
Jamie will take the 6 out next. DJs out of Omaha, Nebraska. The Al and Lori Humphrey, Todd's Body and Glass, Joyce Agronomics, Prevost Racing, Downtown Recycling, JEH Farm, Select Auto, Driven Ag Solutions, that's a Rocket, Scott Bailey, Tyler Herb, the Langenfelder Mechanical Contractors, Roberts B Company, First Class Septic, Gold Lithium, Sunoco, Santa Weld, Rocket, Carson Ferguson, Lubog Granny Company, Live Oak Aesthetic, Coleman Farms, Sparks Oil, Buddy's Automotive, Bradband Trucking, Baker Mitchell, Triple Electric, Pro Fabrication, Boone HVAC, Longhorn Cornet, 93.
Jake Neal 7th, Tyler Erb 8th, Carson Ferguson 7th. On lap number 1, they're gunning for RTJ's time of 13.367. Jake Neal doesn't get there. Best lap 8th, 13997. Second lap time going to go up for Tyler Erb. He's 9th quick, 14037. And Carson Ferguson's best lap is good enough for 7th, 13.940 after 9 cars. Ricky Thornton Jr., Jesse Sobbing, Daniel Hilsebeck, your top 3.
Up next will be Brandon Shepard, the number 1 car, and he's returning to Lucas Oil Series this year at a New Berlin, Illinois. The Mark Richards Racing, Valvoline. Sorbert Calf Ranches, Franklin Enterprises, Petrov Towing, Sunoco Race Fuels, Gunners Hunting, Expendable Works, Styles Marine, Rocket One Pre-Owned, it's a Rocket Durham. Followed by the 99 of Devin Moran. He's out of Dresden, Ohio. The Big River Steel, Lazy Days RV, C&W Trucking, Bo Millwood Plumbing, Anthony's Pizza, Pee-wee's Record Service, McHugh Chrysler, Dodge Jeep Ram, Corsource Auto, Red Oak Pub, Refuel Wellness, Phillips CPA, Longhorn Clements, and who else do we have? Clayton Stuckey, the Lucas Oil, Black Diamond Clements, 15.
You got it, 7th quick for Shep, now 7th quick for Clay Stuckey, 12th fastest for Devin Moran. He wants to try to dig out of that hole on lap 2. Shep improves, 4th quick, 13739. Second lap time for Devin Moran, much better, 7th quick, 13780. And Clay Stuckey improves on lap number 2. He'll be 8th quick, 13816. 12 drivers have attempted a lap. Ricky Thornton Jr., the time to beat, 13368.
Up next will be the 93 out of Hanover, Pennsylvania. That'll be Corey Lawler. Corey Lawler and the Poncho Lawler, PBC Lubricants, Poncho's Racing Products, Creekside Auto Sales. That is a Longhorn Pro Power, followed by Dylan Thornton, formerly out of Warcut, California, Belle Plaine, Iowa, the Ricky and Brenda Kai, Peterson Insurance, Kai Farms and Elevator, Draco Excavating and Aggregates, Pete and Mary Van Eiderstein, right? Yes, Pete.
Yes,
Barbecue, Salt Barbecue, Hoker Trucking, Longhorn, Cornet and Dan Ebert, the Collins Brothers Towing, Minnesota Truck Headquarters, Christensen Group, Woody's Racing, Rocket Durham, 60.
Corey Lawler 12th, Dilly 9th, and Dan Ebert 15th on lap number 1. Dan Ebert wants a better lap than that. Remember, he was good in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Corey Lawler, second lap, not as good, 13th, 14032. Dylan Thornton, second lap, not as good, 9th, 13879. Dan Ebert does jump up to 6th, good lap, 13.751. 15 drivers have attempted a lap. Ricky Thornton Jr., Jesse Sobbing, Daniel Hilsebeck, your top 3.
Dan Battaglia looks like he's not going to make it up for qualifying, but Jordan Grabowski out of Beatrice, Nebraska, made his Lucas Oil debut this week in the Whistler Motorsports Rocket Vic Hill, Whistler Construction All-Purpose Storage, the final qualifier of the night. Again, the overall quick time, 13.041, breaking his own track record, Garrett Alberson.
Comes Jordan Grabowski, lap number 1, 9th quick, not a bad lap, 13781. Gets above the cushion there a little bit in turn number 2. Several laps here at the Eagle Raceway. The 5-time IMCA National Modified Champion comes around. Lap number 2 is not as good. I think he scrubbed out just a little speed over in turn number 2. His best lap, good enough for 9th quick, 13781. And that is unofficially a wrap on All-Star Performance Time Trials tonight. In Group B, it was Ricky Thornton Jr. laying down the quickest lap with a 13.367. Jesse Sobbing, great lap time tonight in qualifying. He's second quick. Hilsebeck third, Sheppy fourth. Those 4 drivers will unofficially start on the front row of their respective heat races tonight. You saw the rest of the top 10 there on your screen, and there is a look at your overall quick qualifier here tonight. He lowers his own track record here this evening with a lap time of 13.041. He is going to go down and be presented with the All-Star Performance Fast Time Award. How about it, ladies and gentlemen, for Garrett Alberson?
Garrett Alberson, his 4th All-Star Performance Fast Qualifier Award of the Year, 2nd track record. How about that, Garrett? You set the track record last year. Your fast time back on Thursday. Tonight, you lowered it even further. I'm going to ask you again, what's your favorite thing about Eagle Raceway?
Yeah, it's just got a cool flow to it right there. I think we just hit everything just right there. The car turned in on the gas both ends, and I could just stay down where that brown was. So it just worked out really good right there.
All right, racetrack's heavy. We got sprint cars tonight. What do you look for out of it?
It seems like it's transitioning really fast right here. The sprint cars already had it way more packed in, I feel like, than it was the last couple nights. So that's why I think the speeds were good, because it was already ready to go. So I think it's going to move around a lot faster tonight. The lanes will change, and I don't know. It's going to be pretty interesting.
New Mexico's Garrett Alberson, tonight's All-Star Performance Fast Qualifier. We're less than 10 minutes away from opening ceremonies here tonight, so we're going to step aside, thank some marketing partners, and we'll be back here. Eagle Raceway, the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist. Don't go anywhere.
We showed the world what it means to go big. Combining mini mill technology with industry-leading talent, producing steel our customers need in an environmentally responsible way. Now, we're going even bigger. Big River Steel is building a second, highly sustainable and technologically advanced steel mill, allowing us to deliver even more of the sustainable steel needed to solve the challenges of tomorrow without sacrificing performance today. That's big picture steel.
The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is back big for 2025 as the Big River Steel Chase for the championship presented by ARP kicks off in January and concludes at the season finale at Eldora Speedway in October. Drivers will battle for over $1.3 million with $250,000 awarded to the series champion at Eldora Speedway. Don't miss the action all season.
ARP, the ultimate fasteners for racing in the dirt. With high horsepower demands, ARP delivers maximum clamping force and performance. When failure on the dirt is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com.
Turn your passion into a career at the University of Northwestern Ohio. From high performance to automotive, diesel, and everything in between, you'll find a degree that will get you a job.
Students that go through our programs have fantastic experiences and they come out getting good job placements.
70% hands-on, no out-of-state tuition, and accredited degrees in trades that are in high demand all across the country.
10 out of 10. If you even think this is the right place for you, you better just go.
Learn more about your future at unoh.edu.
This is what you save your lunch money for. Welcome to the High Limit Room.
The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is brought to you by Big River Steel, developing sustainable steel made with the world's most advanced mini mill technologies. By Lucas Oil, keep that engine alive. And by Automotive Racing Products, quality first and made in the USA. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Eagle Raceway here in Eagle, Nebraska for the final night of racing action here with the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist. $50,000 on the line tonight for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. We've got a massive crowd filing in here this evening. And it looks like all the safety equipment or all the track prep equipment, Dan, has made its way off the racetrack. My friend, I think it's about time to get underway with opening ceremonies.
I've only been ready for this since the day it got announced on the schedule, and we're ready to get it wrapped up. First and foremost, Eagle Raceway, those of you that are here on a Saturday night know how we get things kicked off. We got to say a big thank you to the amazing crew in red lined up on the front stretch. The Four Corners Fire and Safety Team, they are the absolute best in the business. Fantastic job with these guys, and they are definitely raising some money tonight for the 50-50 raffle to help benefit their nonprofit operation. So big thanks to the Four Corners Fire and Safety Team. Got to say a big thanks to the crew in Turn 1, the 9 Lines EMS crew, and the South Central EMS team in turn number 3. Hope we don't need them tonight, but they are on site if we definitely do. And of course, the E-Steps push truck team is going to be hard at work tonight, pushing off the 35 Race Savers sprint cars.
All right, Dan, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, if not already, and if you are able, we'll ask you to please rise and remove your headgear. First, for this evening's invocation, if you would please join me in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. You've blessed us with just a gorgeous day of racing with a great crowd and a tremendous field of race cars and drivers in the pit area, Lord. It's our ask here this evening, Father, that you will watch over these drivers, Lord. Just guide them in the decisions they make, and most importantly, Lord, bless them with a blanket of protection here tonight. Just keep them all free from injury and safe throughout the course of the night, as well as the crews working on those race cars, the track staff, and all the fans here this evening as well. Lord, as always, I'd like to thank you for the blessing that you've given to us, and that includes our servicemen and women. They fight to make this the absolute greatest country in the entire world, and we thank them for that. Lord, be with our first responders and all those out there on the front line, Lord. But above and beyond everything else, Father, I thank you for the gift of your Son, Jesus Christ. You sent him into this world not to condemn the world, but to save the world from its sins. We're reminded of that in John 3:17, and we ask all of this in his precious and holy name, and all God's children said, Amen. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, please remain standing, performing tonight's national anthem, Junior, with the losing formula.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming in the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Junior with losing formula performing the anthem here this evening. Eagle Raceway, that means we've got just one more question to ask. Eagle, are you ready? All right. That wasn't bad, but you could tell that's a crowd that, well, to be quite honest, a lot of folks that maybe weren't here the first two nights. Let's try it again. Eagle Raceway, are you ready? We had a little pyro that time.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm. Here we go. One more time, and I want them to hear you all the way over in Lincoln. Eagle Raceway, are you ready?
There it is. I like it.
That's beautiful.
I love it.
This
Good
crowd
stuff, man.
has been trained for years. The third time, you got to scream. Tom Grasso and Stan Caesar getting that kicked off. $35 Nebraska Septic Race Saver Sprint Cars checked in. James, man, it's been a long couple of days. It's good to have you back next to me.
Dude, it has been absolutely killing me doing my adult responsibilities of actually going to work, and man, golly, it's good to be back at Eagle Raceway, especially for one of my favorite classes with your Nebraska Septic Race Saver Sprint Cars. Some people say that I'm strictly a fender guy, but you know, between me, you, and the fence post, sprint cars, stock cars, those are kind of at the top of my list.
Just
we
put
got
on a good
35
show.
of them tonight.
That's all
they're
we got to
gonna
worry
put on
about.
one badass show at one badass racetrack.
Your E-Steps push truck team is getting them pushed off, so here comes your lineup for heat race at number 1 of 4. Inside row number 1 out of Lincoln, Nebraska, it's going to be the 14 of Joey Danley. To his outside, from Hartford, South Dakota, the 17X, Lee Goes Jr.
Starting on the inside of row number 2, he hails from right down the road in Eagle, Nebraska, in car number 12. That's the Duke, Tyler Drucke. To his outside, out of Ozaki, Kansas, in the 6 machine, it's Mason Day.
Row number 3 to the inside from Hartford, South Dakota, it's the X machine. That's Dylan Waxdahl. And to his outside, just down the road in Lincoln, the 14T, Tyler Hendrickson.
On the inside of row number 4, the driver hails out of Omaha, Nebraska, and the 1B picked up the A feature win out here last Saturday night. It's Brandon Horton. And to his outside from O'Neill, Nebraska, in car number 32, it's Trevor Waller. Rounding out the field all by his lonesome, the Lincoln, Nebraska runner, they call him the Bull. In car number 91, it's Adam Gullion.
We've got 2-3 track champions in this class.
Just a couple.
Joey Danley, Tyler Drucke, and Adam Gullion picking up track championships. Tyler Drucke, the most recent one. After Joey Danley won his championship, he started focusing a little bit more on his 360, but couldn't pass up the opportunity to come and race for $3,000 to win tonight. So it's going to be a big night of racing, and I think we're going to get a little bit of a preview of what we get every September or Labor Day weekend with the Race Saver Nationals. Big car count, big money on the line, and that 3-wide start is an absolute tradition.
That's right. Those of you at home who may have never heard, maybe you think you just misheard, but every Labor Day weekend, we cram about 125 of these Race Saver sprint cars into the pit area. We race for 4 nights, and we start 27 of the best Race Saver sprint car drivers in the nation, 3 wide.
And again, those of you who are watching at home on Flow TV for the first time, maybe thinking, how in the world do you guys drop a green flag and go 3 wide into turn number 1? Of the, I believe, 8 years that we have done that format, only one of them have we not been able to complete the opening lap, and several times we complete multiple open laps.
So when we do it well. That's
Absolutely.
how we do it.
And Roger Hayden, you know, he understands. He's a former driver. He gets it. So he's on the radio with these guys, reminding them, hold your line that first lap. Let things work its way out. Then you can start to shift around. You don't need to be going down to the bottom if you're starting outside of the pole position. You don't need to be drifting up to the top. Hold your line. Get out of turn number 2 down the backstretch, and let things kind of file out. And you begin to see real quick how things will work their way out, especially with 21 great starters.
Can't win it on the first one, but you can darn sure lose it. Here we go. RPM's coming up off turn number 4. Caden Murray's got the green flag in hand. We are down and underway. Heat race number 1. Joey Danley takes the field down the back straightaway. Bolte riding close in that second spot. Tyler Drucke sits back in the 3rd position in car number 12. Danley's going to lead now lap number 1, and Bolte hot on his heels.
Close. That's Lee Goes Jr. in the 17X. He forgot to put the X on the screen for us. But Lee Goes Jr. started to challenge on the low side from Joey Danley. Danley got a great start on the opening lap. And now Lee goes junior within a car length. He's looking low. Out of turn number 2, Danley's going to hold him off on the high side.
Lee Goes Jr.'s been one of those guys running with us every couple of weeks. He's not quite a weekly competitor here yet, but when he is here, he is fast. Multiple Speedway Motors Hard Charger Awards for the 17X machine. But right now, trying to reel in your race leader, the 14 Rock and Roll Joey Danley.
Tyler Drucke picked up a Race Saver win earlier this year at our Icebreaker Challenge, our opening weekend for the 2025 season, holding on to that 3rd spot. In the 4th and final transfer is the X of Dylan Waxtall. We're taking a look on that screen as he's going down the backstretch, and Trevor Waller, first car outside looking in the 5th position. Trevor Waller trying to reel in the X of Dylan Waxtall as the laps are winding down. James, we're coming out of turn number 4. Caden Murray giving him the signal. 4 laps left to go.
Laps rolling out quick in this one. Waxtall, as you mentioned, he's another one of those guys that doesn't race with us quite weekly, but when he comes, he is one tough customer here at Eagle Raceway. Through 3 and 4, Joey Danley continues to be your race leader. Goes Jr. rides in the 2nd spot. Tyler Drucke is 3rd. Waxtall remains in your 4th and final transfer position.
Trevor Waller has closed in on the X of Dylan Waxtall. I believe it was about 5 or 6 car lengths last time by. Now it's coming down to about 3 or 4 car lengths, but time is running out. 2 laps left to go, James, and the leader's down the backstretch.
Leaders down the back straightaway. I've got my eyes peeled on this battle for your 4th and final transfer spot. Good set of corners from Waller through 1 and 2. He's going to try and reel him in. Caden Murray's got the white flag waving for Joey Danley. Back in the pack, Dylan Waxtall hangs on to the spot. 1/3 of a mile to go, less than 1/3 of a mile to go. Through 3 and off of turn 4, picking up the heat race number 1 victory in the 14 machine. It's the Empire Fence car of Joey Danley.
Joey Danley gets the win, followed by the 17X Elite Goes Junior. Tyler Drucke brings it home in 3rd, and Dylan Waxtall holds on for your 4th and final transfer. Trevor Waller, Brandon Horton, Tyler Hendrickson, Adam Golian, and Mason Day will all have to come out of the C and the B feature later tonight. That'll do it for heat race number 1 in your Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars. Don't forget, number 1 solution for a number 2 problem. That is Nebraska Septic. Veteran-owned, competitive pricing. Don't mess around with this stuff. When you've got a problem with your septic system, you call Nebraska Septic. Joey Danley on the scales, getting a thumbs up from the tech officials that he is good to go. Heat race number 2 rolling out onto the speedway, and after we get done with that lineup, I believe we'll send it down to PJ Pedersen with our interview of heat race number 1 winner. So, starting on the pole inside row number 1 for heat race number 2, coming out of Vale, Iowa. It's the 28 of Maddie Miller. To her outside from O'Neill, Nebraska, the 22D, that's Danny Nikolai.
On the inside of row number 2 out of Omaha, Nebraska, and car number 2T, that's Cameron Thompson. To his outside out of Martell, and the 14G, it's Gene Ackland.
Row number 3 to the inside from Albany, Missouri, it's the 20D of Jacob Dye. To his outside, just down the road in Lincoln, in the 45X, 7-time Eagle Raceway track champion, that's the boss, Mike Boston.
Making the long haul from Armour, South Dakota on the inside of row number 4 in the 31 machine. That's Kobe Workmeister. To his outside, the Omaha, Nebraska runner in the 35L. It's Ty Ledger rounding out the field. He hails out of South Bend, Nebraska, in car number 25. They call him Top Gun. It's Gunner Pike.
And while the E-Steps Wheels push truck team is getting the field pushed up, and apparently, man, we had issues with the media obligations last night. We continue to have it tonight. We're gonna have to.
Well, you know, I've known Joey for a long time, and he is pretty shy.
He is. He does not like his media obligations. So we will move on to heat race number 2. Hopefully, we'll get an interview with that winner.
You know what? Since Billy Alley's back behind the wheel, I'm taking rock and roll away. We're gonna call him Shy Guy Joey Danley.
Deal.
Hey, I tried to get him, guys, and unfortunately, he got away from me. He's slippery like that.
Well, PJ, you got to wave with more than one finger.
Normally, I would say.
Hey, I had all 4 fingers and a thumb.
Got it. Normally, I'd say just kind of get in front of them and block their way, but no, I'm not going to recommend that with the sprint car.
Yeah, they can't stop.
No. And they won't.
Can't stop, won't stop. Kevin will have that on your DJ rotation later on.
Field is forming up for heat race number 2. I want to say a big thank you to Laura and Dan Jackson for donating some extra money $100 goes to the first non-qualifier for the A feature. So the first driver in the B feature that does not move on, Dan Jackson and his lovely wife Laura, throwing in a little extra money into that. They're hanging out up at VIP tonight.
You know, there's another big giveaway that just got presented to me. Josh LePage, he's helped out with a couple of right rear tires before. So tonight, Josh LePage is going to be giving away a fresh Hoosier Race Saver right rear tire for your hard charger in tonight's main event.
What's that, a $300 value right now?
Right in that wheelhouse.
Yeah, I think 325 was maybe the last number I heard.
I think the last time that you and I split one, it was $294, and that was a year or two ago, and that was only if you paid cash. All right, field forms up, slow into 3. Get ready to feel the roar off of 4. Race Saver Sprint Car Heat Race number 2 is underway.
Down into turn number 1, Maddie Miller, Crawford County Speedway former track champion. She's got the 22D, the Doc Danny Nicolite all over her. Good side-by-side battle out of turn number 4 between Gene Ackland and Cameron Thompson. And also the 45 of Mike Boston throwing his hat in the ring there. Great 4-car battle on your screen.
It was nearly 3 wide there through 1 and 2, but we've got a battle for the race lead. Danny Nicolite off the bottom. They're going to touch. Holy cow. Great save from both of those drivers, Maddie Miller and Danny Nicolite getting together. That's going to shuffle Nicolite back to second and Miller outside of camera frame.
Gene Ackland takes over the race lead as Danny Nicolite, Cameron Thompson. I think Maddie Miller might be having some issues.
How about Ty Ledger working his way through the field?
Absolutely. Cameron Thompson looking underneath him. Ty Ledger in the 35L. All over the back bumper of the Doc Danny Nicolite. Cameron Thompson trying to work the low side, trying to get the 2-for-1 special. Good run out of turn number 2 for Ty Ledger, brother of longtime sprint car driver Cody Ledger. Ty working the high side out of turn number 4. Ty has got the second spot. So Ty Ledger up to second. Danny Nicolite back to third, and Cameron Thompson just gave up the 4th and final transfer spot to the boss, Mike Boston.
It was a great save from Ty Ledger off 2 when he went to take that spot away. Car kind of broke loose on him on exit there. He did a great job gathering that car back up as he tries to track down your race leader, Gene Ackland, nearly back to Martell at the front of this one. Thompson rides in the second position, Nicolite in third, and
caution on the speedway. Cade Murray throwing the yellow flag, slowing things down.
Oh, he's hidden by the pole. I believe that's Maddie Miller.
I believe you're right. The 28 of Maddie Miller out of Vale, Iowa, former Crawford County Speedway track champion. I believe that was 2023.
Yep, hot dog. I was right. Mark it on the board. Hang the banner. That's a rarity.
Yeah, that was the year that she had a great battle against Top Gun Gunner Pike. Gunner made the decision to go to Belleville one night, and that's what cost him a chance at the title. But yeah, it was Maddie Miller down here in turn 2 spun.
Second generation driver in the Miller family. So Gene Ackland's 1.2 second lead is gone. Ty Ledger is going to have a shot at the 14G. Ty Ledger in the 35L running second. Cameron Thompson, rookie in the sprint car division, in third, and Danny Nicolite holding on to that 4th spot. Then it's Kobe Workmeister, Mike Boston, Gunner Pike, and Maddie Miller.
Workmeister's another one of those guys that's been a real tough customer when he does get to run down here at Eagle Raceway. Currently sitting outside looking in by 1 spot. Caden Murray's got the green flag going off of turn number 4. We're back to racing action and a great start for the 14G.
Yeah, I think Gene Ackland caught Ty Ledger sleeping, but look at that. Ty Ledger closed the gap big time in 1 and 2. He's going to keep working at it in 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, Gene Ackland closes the door.
Back to 1 and 2, back to the top side for Ty Ledger. Great set of corners through 1 and 2. He's going to take the top spot away. Ackland will battle back down to the low side, but the momentum move goes to the 35L, the Omaha, Nebraska runner, Ty Ledger. 2 laps to go in this one. Caden Murray's waving the rocking chair, and he's waving the yellow flag.
Caution comes out again. Under caution, Kobe Workmeister hit the infield tire.
Yeah, you know, those things do sneak up on you, I'm told. I personally, in my short, lackluster driving career, never hit one.
You've hit a lot of things, just not an infield tractor tire.
That's right.
We're going to get a look at a FloRacing replay, see what brought out that caution. Oh, the 2T of Cameron Thompson drifted up the racetrack and got into the 31 of Kobe Workmeister.
A lot of cars got lucky there, man.
How did he not go over on that, by the way?
I don't know how Boston didn't touch him.
Man alive, he hit that outside wall, exited turn 2. You can even see the tire tracks up there as he hit that Armco coming out of turn 2.
That could become the launch point later on in the evening. Grab a little bit of grip from where the tire tracks already were and launch her down the back straightaway.
We'll have 2 laps left to go when we go back to heat race number 2. Once again, top 4 moving on. As they run right now, Gene Acklin is going to get the race lead back. As we go back to the last completed lap, Ty Ledger, then it's Cameron Thompson and Danny Nicolite. Your top 4, Mike Boston, Jacob Dye, Matty Miller, Gunnar Pike. And then Kobe Workmeister. Oh, I take that back. Looks like Kobe is going to take over the 4th spot. They must have called that caution on debris, because otherwise, normal track rules, if they call it on you, you have to go to the tail of the field.
I plead the 5th.
It's always a pretty iffy thing when the announcers try to remember track policies. So here we go, 2 laps left to go. Field is formed up. Once again, Gene Acklin, Cody Ledger, Cameron Thompson, and Kobe Workmeister. That's your top 4. Here we go, green flag is out. James, 2 to go.
All right, everybody makes it past the cone down the front straightaway. Single file back into turn 1. Acklin remains your race leader. Ty Ledger hot on his heels down the back stretch. Acklin down low. Ledger working the high line. Round the middle groove. We're widening out here as it goes on. White flags out. 1 lap to go for the 14G.
High side of turns 1 and 2 is where he made up all the room. Gene Acklin's going to go up there and block his run this time. Gene Acklin may have just secured the race lead. Although Acklin goes low in 3 and 4, Ledger goes high in 3 and 4. Acklin's going to hold on. He'll get the win. Ty Ledger in 2nd. Cameron Thompson, the rookie, brings it home in 3rd. And Colby Workmeister in 4th. For any of those keyboard commanders to say you can't do any passing in America's home track, 8th to 2nd for Ty Ledger. 7th to 4th for Colby Workmeister.
Yeah, absolutely flying. And he made contact with the wall doing it.
He tried to push it out for the late model guys. It's awful nice of him. I think Gene is one of those guys that will definitely slow down for PJ and have an interview. But let's get on to heat race number 3 for your Nebraska Septic Sprint cars. Inside row number 1, ooh, this is a stout field of, or stout front row.
Whole line of Lincolnites.
Out of Lincoln, the 03, that's Shaylee Bade. To her outside, it's our own version of Superman. It's the 5 of Stu Snyder.
A little bit more geographically spread out, row number 2 on the inside of it, out of Papillion, Nebraska in the 15V. It's the Cole train, Cole Vanderheiden. I heard he has train whistles if you want to annoy people.
Oh,
to his outside out of Bennett, Nebraska in the 11 machine, it's rock and roll Billy Alley.
I thought we banned those after 2 years ago.
Yeah, you and me both.
Panama, Nebraska's TG, Trevor Grossenbacher, will start inside row number 3 in the 35 machine. To his outside from Lakefield, Minnesota, making his Eagle Raceway debut, the 9A of Hunter Hansen.
Omaha Metro, 4th row on the inside out of Omaha in the 4W. That's Nate Weiler. To his outside, the Papillion driver in the 3T. That's Dan Satriano. And rounding out the field, another rookie competitor. This one hails out of Denton, Nebraska in the 8B. That's Caden Thurman.
Papillion?
I was gonna say something like, I was gonna call him the Papio Papa or something.
Okay.
It was a nickname in the making, Dan.
And it didn't work.
It didn't work. I'll do better next week.
For those of you, Papillion. Nebraska.
Papillion.
Yeah. It's like Beatrice, Nebraska.
The city council voted, and they voted no to that.
Speaking of that, let's send it down to PJ.
Down here with our Heat 2 winner, Gene Acklin. And Gene, that was quite a run and a really good battle between you and Ledger.
Yeah, luckily that yellow come out, or he would have had me. It kind of showed me what he was doing, so changed my line in 1 and 2, and it worked out.
So you are going to be going before the late models. What changes are you thinking you're going to make to keep up on the track?
Well, we'll watch track prep. I assume there's some track prep involved before us, and just kind of go from there.
All right, congratulations. We'll see you in the feature.
Thank you.
So James.
All right, that's heat number 2 winner, Clean Gene Ackland. Dan James, back to you.
Was that AKA for I don't know yet, or I'm not telling you?
I think a little bit of both.
Okay.
A good mix.
Yes, just yes.
Shaylee Bade and Stu Snyder.
What do those two have in common?
Same birthdays, same race shop.
Yep.
They got 2 things in common at
What's
least.
their birthday?
Yes.
It's the same as mine.
Wow, way to call me out. Just took that page out of Dustin Jarrett's book last night, didn't you?
Had to do it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right. Well, we already got one in the books on this one. No, we don't. Look what he's got in his hand.
Yeah, he's getting ready. We're running some buzz laps as we get lined up. I know you're getting excited.
Just a little.
Concession stands are open. We've got this one and one more heat race to go for your Nebraska Septic Sprint cars. I finally got to enjoy some funnel cake fries, which are sitting perfect with me right now. Nice Pepsi Cola of Lincoln Mountain Dew to wash it all down with. So it was a sugar central just before we took the invocation and national anthem.
Whatever you got to do to make it through the night, brother. Personally, I went with my standard Polish dog with sauerkraut and mustard.
No
nice order
walking
of fries.
taco tonight?
No walking taco tonight.
Next week.
I think we're ready to stop walking, getting ready to start running. Heat race number 3 rolls slow into 3, getting ready to go off of 4. Caden Murray's got the green flag in hand. We're already 2 wide down the front straightaway.
Stu Snyder on the outside is going to rip the lips. Shaylee Bade will drift up the racetrack. She'll hold on to that second spot. Here comes Billy Alley and Choo Choo holding on to 4th, while Trevor Grossenbacher trying to reel him in.
Grossenbacher's been a real hard charger here. As a matter of fact, I think he's won the Hard Charger Award the last 2 weeks in a row in car number 35. Trying to make some fast moves down here. You've got the FloRacing camera on that battle right now off turn number 4. Grossenbacher's going to go to the high side. Vanderheiden hangs on to the spot, and he's going to look to the inside of the 03, Shaylee Bade.
Shaylee Bade has not had a good couple of opening laps. She's got to get that 03 underneath of her because Coltrane is digging underneath. Choo Choo working his way forward, and he's got the 3rd spot. Bade back to 4th, and now she's got the 35 of Trevor Grossenbacher. Meanwhile, back to the front, Stu Snyder has led him all but the 11 of Billy Alley, trying to reel him in off 4.
He's doing a pretty good job of it down the front straightaway. About 3 car lengths separate your top 2 runners. Alley goes down to the low side. Snyder runs around that middle line right up near the cush, which spreads out lap by lap. Through 3, off of 4, Alley down low again. Not going to be enough to reel in Superman this time by, as we have 6 to go.
He did cut the distance in half. It was a 4/10 advantage for Stu Snyder. Now it's down to a 2/10 advantage. Shaylee Bade, like I mentioned, she's getting that car underneath her, figuring out this racetrack. She's not letting the 15V of Coltrane get away from him, or get away from her, as she's trying to reel that 3rd position back in. Meanwhile, back to the front, coming out of turn number 3, or coming into turn number 3, out of turn number 4, Stu Snyder's going to lead with 3 to go.
Alley continues to close in on him on visuals and on the speed charts. About 2.5 car lengths separate spots 1 and 2. Snyder into 3, off of 4. 2 laps to go. Rocking chair flags from head starter Caden Murray.
Last time by, Stu Snyder was able to add a 10th to his advantage, so now the 5 of Stu Snyder starting to pull away from Billy Alley. Cole Vanderheiden holding on to 3rd, Shaylee Bade in 4th, Trevor Grossenbacher, first car outside looking in 5th. Then it's Chase Weiler, Dan Satriano, Hunter Hansen, and Caden Thurman, as we're going to zoom in on Superman Stu Snyder taking the win out of turn number 4. He's got heat race number 3 win. Billy Alley in 2nd, Cole Vanderheiden in 3rd, and Shaylee Bade rounding out your 4th and final transfer. Good heat race action in your Nebraska Septic Sprint cars as we're kicking off the final night of the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist. Big thanks to those guys at Jay Burdick and everybody down at Malvern Bank and Dirt Track Bank for helping us get this whole event put together and making it a 3-day show. Stu Snyder pulling across the scale like he has done many times as your 4th and final heat race moving out onto the racetrack.
And this is your starting lineup. On the inside of row 1 in the 2A machine, that's Alex Salzman. To his outside, he says he's from God's country. We call it Fort Calhoun, Nebraska. In the 77X, it's John Klabunde.
Row number 2 to the inside from Rock Rapids, Iowa, and the number 23 machine, that is Brandon Bosma to his outside. Lincoln native 4X and two-time Eagle Raceway track champion, including your defending track champion. That's Jason Danley.
On the inside of row number 3, it's the Fremont, Nebraska runner in the 17. That's Justin Bolte. Bolte in car 17 to his outside at a Papillion in the 100. It's the big show, Clint Benson.
Your final row from Madison, South Dakota in the 23V, that's Caleb Volts to his outside. At a Lincoln, the 18W, it's Kid Lightning, Cole Wayman. I think Cole Wayman's got a risk of being a little bored tonight. He's only running one class. Well, let's send it down to PJ. You've got heat race number 3 winner.
There's no bird, there's no plane, there's no last name at Davenport, but there is Superman, Stu Snyder. He raced number 3 winner. And Stu, what'd you see out there?
The track's right where we need to be with this car right now. We've been changing a lot of stuff the last couple of weeks here. We got our 360 program rolling really well, and it looks like we got this program back on where it needs to be.
So are you going to just kind of wait and see what they do for track prep, or you got some changes in mind for the feature?
I think we need to tighten it up just a little bit. I was kind of free there the longer the run went on there in the heat race, so we'll tighten it up, maybe look at the gearing and see how much he track preps too. You know, that's a big deal, and hopefully we can get a good redraw. I'm not very good at doing redraws either.
All right, well, that is heat race number 3 winner, Superman, Stu Snyder.
Thank you very much, PJ. Dan, before we send it down for the interview, you were talking a little bit about how Cole Wayman might be bored. For those of you watching at home on Flow who haven't made it out to America's home track, Cole Wayman is one of these kids that likes to run double, sometimes even triple duty. Every Saturday night, you can find him in the Race Saver car and your Avid Realty IMCA Sport Mods. He'll jump in your stock car if you want him to, too.
He is for hire. If anybody out there in the late model world is looking for a driver, he's one of those, I believe they call him hot shoes.
He's one in those, too.
Cade Murray giving the signal.
Well, don't forget, he ran modified for season 2.
He absolutely did. And he is the defending Eagle Raceway Sport Mod Track champion in his V18W Sport
I guess
Modified.
There's that, too.
Decorated young man, and pretty good one, too. I like talking to him.
Yeah, he's a fun kid.
Cade Murray's giving him the signal. We are going to go green next time by Alex Salzman, and John Klabundy are going to lead him to green with Brandon Bosma, Jason Danley, row number 2. Justin Bolte and Clint Benson, row number 3. Caleb Volts and Cole Wayman, row number 4. Here we go.
I don't know if that one's going to go. We're 3 wide at the start. Let's see. And that one's getting called back. Got the nice benefit of that camera angle, kind of knowing what's going to happen.
Maybe not. He's letting it go. Out of turn number 4, lap number 1 will go to Alex Salzman in the 2A machine. John Klabundy in 2nd, Brandon Bosma in 3rd. Bosma bobbles a little bit on the low side. That's going to open the door for Jason Danley, but is not able to capitalize down the backstretch as you've got a battle for the race lead.
Off turn 4, here they go, Salzman and Klabundy. Salzman hangs on to it that time by, down to corner 1. Good bit of momentum from the 77X machine. The Fort Calhoun runner neck and neck as we roll into 3 and off of 4. Will the momentum line pay off? You've got a new race leader at the flag stand in the 77X, John Klabundy.
Brandon Bosma's got his hands full. Jason Danley to his outside and Cole Wayman to his push bar. They're going at it for the 3rd spot. Danley now hard into turn 3, up the racetrack out of turn number 4, gets that good run, and he'll take over the 3rd spot. So Jason Danley up to 3rd. See if he can hold on to it out of turn number 2. Bosma's going to fight back.
Bosma down to the low side. Another one of those guys that really likes it the low way around Eagle Raceway. And at the line, Bosma hangs on to it, but Jason Danley is right there, and both of them are right behind your 2nd place runner, Alex Salzman, in the 2A.
Great crossover move. Danley's going to try to go low. He'll have Salzman in front of him. Salzman's starting to fall back as Klabundy is pulling away. Danley might have got into the outside wall on the exit of turn number 4. Didn't slow him down much, but Cole Wayman gets around him for the 4th and final transfer.
Now that battle rages on for the 2nd spot. Salzman down low. Bosma's made his way up to the top side. Unique powder coat color on the 23 of Bosma. He's going to work around that middle cushion line. He's got the momentum off of 2. He's going to take the spot away from Salzman as they go into 3. Salzman battles back. Not quite going to be enough. New 2nd place runner as we've got 2 laps to go.
John Klabundy, 2 laps left to go, enjoying a 1.479 second lead over 2nd place Brandon Bosma. Battle we're watching is for 3rd as John Klabundy gets the white flag out of turn number 4. Wayman holds on to it, and he takes the 3rd spot away from Alex Salzman. Salzman now your 4th and final transfer as your leaders coming out of 4.
Coming out of Ford, picking up the checkered flag out of Fort Calhoun, Nebraska in the 77X machine. It's John Klabunde in the second spot. Bosma takes the second spot away. Cole Wayman brings it home in the third spot. And your fourth and final transfer car, the 2A of Alex Salzman.
So that's going to do it for your Nebraska Septic Sprint Car Heat Race action. And we've got it set. We will do a redraw in front of the crowd for intermission to set up the starting positions. So even though the heat race winners won, they're not necessarily going to start on the pole. John Klabunde, the fastest trash hauler. That's what Stan Caesar always used to call it.
That's right.
Abe's Trash Service, one of the primary sponsors on that car.
I believe that is his trash service. Maybe it was Dad's trash service.
He's going to get on the scales. Gets a good push by the Four Corners Fire and Safety team to completely get on there. Nothing like building the suspense.
That's right. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Yeah, thumbs up.
We're all set to go.
He is your winner.
He's going to head over to PJ and have a conversation as we're going to wrap things up. And that'll do it for your sprint car heat races.
The way we're angled, I'm not going to be able to. Down here with heat number 4 winner and one of my picks on my Race Pass Fantasy, John Klabunde. John, that was a good heat race run.
Yeah, thanks. Starting spot was really helpful there. That track would have been a little bit harder for me to pass on. I mean,
what do you see with the track so far that's going to help you make some changes for the feature?
oh, I'm not sure. I'll just, with all the late models, I'm not sure really what it'll do, but we'll just keep an eye on it and change it right before the feature.
All right, that's John Klabunde, Heat 4 winner. Now let's send it up to James Essex and Dustin Jarrett. We've got some late model heat races.
All right, PJ, thanks a lot. James, I thought that was Rick Auckland out there, but it was Gene Ackland. It's close.
Gene Ackland. Not Gene Hackman either.
Not Gene Hackman.
The late, great Gene Hackman. How about that parking lot? Not bad.
I like that. How about this first heat race lineup?
Go.
Let's go. I have lost my lineup. Do you have my lineup?
Penske Shocks heat number 1. The winners on the Victory Fuel pole. It's Garrett Alberson. Well, he breaks his own track record here tonight. He's in 58 out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, and alongside the second-generation racer out of Menominee, Wisconsin at 28, it is Sam Mars.
Row 2 on the inside. It's going to be Tyler Bruning out of Decorah, Iowa, on his outside. The fastest cat out of Brandon, Florida, the 40B at Kyle Bronson.
It is Colin Weinbarger. He's out of Corbett, Oregon in 14S, and Tad Pospischel. That's nice. Victory Fuel pole center. He starts 6th here tonight out of Norfolk, Nebraska.
We move back to row number 4. There we find Marysville, Kansas driver Dusty Leonard. He's going to be on the inside on the 70, and on his outside, Ben Sukup out of Norfolk, Nebraska in the 07. Dylan McCowan is a scratch. Tough break for him.
He was the hard charger here on Thursday night. By the way, don't forget next weekend, Wheatland, Missouri, 3 nights there. And again, the Saturday afternoon, next Saturday afternoon, and I think it'll be live here on Flow, right, Tiffany? Our Hellraiser Jacks Pit Crew Challenge. The winner of that will get $2,000. Last year was the double down of Devin Moran's team, Roger Sellers' team winning that. $1,000 for second, and $1,000 to the best appearing crew as well. So thanks to Tim Sheets at Hellraiser Jacks. That'll happen all next Saturday afternoon at Wheatland, Missouri for the Show Me 100. Alberson and Mars off at turn 4. The Nutrient Ag Solutions start zone. Top 4 advance. 8 laps. Penske Shocks heat 1 underway, DJ.
Winner starts from the Victory Fuel pole in tonight's 75 lap, $50,000 to win main event. Side by side momentarily. Can Sam Mars do it? James, he was DJ's dog of the night. He's on the outside right now looking for the lead off corner number 4. Track's good early. It's going to be Garrett Albertson leading lap number 1.
I talked to Jimmy Mars the other day, and it's like, hey, we really didn't have a lot going on around the house, and so let's get out and let's do some work down here. Let's get down here to Eagle. Looked like a really sporty place here a year ago, and they're back, and there's a side-by-side battle between Bronson and Bruning.
Oh my.
Kyle Bronson getting wound up. They're trying to go 3 wide out of turn 2. Are you kidding me? I dare you to say by a cat's whisker.
Oh.
I dare you to say it. Here he comes. Bruni's got the spot, though. The golden beard.
The golden beard. By more than half a cat's whisker that time by at the stripe. Here comes Tad Pospisil to battle for the final transfer spot on the right side of your screen. Sam Mars has it. Tad Pospisil time trying to take it away. Garrett Albertson, you're not missing anything out front. Knock on wood. 1.5 second advantage for him, and Pospisil going to work his way around Mars into the final transfer.
Having the sprints tonight, it's not as muddy to start with as it has been the last couple. Whoa, Bronson got way up in the air. Holy cow. He is running right now in third. He's run third the last 2 nights. Interview of the year last night. One of them, no doubt about it, but it is all Garrett Albertson. Broke his own track record, he said here last July. 13-0 tonight. He's on his way to victory fuel pole. He is yet to win a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series race this year, and he is heading that heated battle for fourth. Barrett's Performance, 1 lap to go for the Las Cruces, New Mexico driver.
Final time around, battle for the second spot on the right side of your screen, but Garrett Albertson by nearly 2 seconds out front of this one. Tyler Bruning trying to hang on for that final transfer. Checkered flag in the air. Garrett Albertson going to win Penske Shocks heat race number 1. And second spot's going to go to Tyler Bruning ahead of Kyle Bronson. Tad Pospisil will grab the final transfer over Sam Mars, Colin Weinbarger, Dusty Leonard, and Ben Sukups a third. Fourth, rather, goes to Tad Pospisil. Second goes to third. Play it again. Fourth, Popsicle. Third, Bronson. Second, Bruning. Garrett Albertson going to get the win. The Romer, Machine and Welding, Low Voltage Solutions, Bill Sports Shop, CMI Transportation, Titan Racing Products, Sunoco Race Fuels, Lucas Oil, Dickey's Doghouse, Cheap Cars. Sponsored number 58 for Ken and Beth Roberts. James, here's the starting lineup for Summit Racing Heat Race number 2.
And on the pole in his return, he was not here last night, went home from Thursday night, had an incident there, got it fixed. Blair Nodorf, he's out of Renner, South Dakota, and on the outside, last night's winner, his 87th career win of the series, the 49 out of Blairsville, Georgia, Jonathan Davenport.
Brandon Overton inside row 2 in the 76 on his outside, the 18D Big Perm, Dalton Wilson.
Donald McIntosh starts 5th. He's also tied with Daniel Hilsebeck for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase. And on the outside, the 6 who was second in last year's Rookie of the Year chase, that is Clay Harris out of Jupiter, Florida.
And your final 3 starters, Chase Younghands in 18, Spencer Hughes in 19, M and Junior Coover in the 10. Let's send it down to Ben Shelton, who's going to grab a word with Garrett Albertson.
Garrett Albertson, his second victory fuel pole of the year, his 8th Simpson Race Products heat race win. Garrett, you were 5th the past 2 nights. What do you take away from the 40 lappers the past 2 nights and get ready for 75 tonight?
It's going to be interesting. I mean, this place is elbows up. I mean, that's probably about the best I've felt right there as far as being able to kind of move around and do what I wanted to. So, yeah, hopefully we keep her up front. I mean, this car is really good. These guys are working their butts off, so proud of them.
He's got a big smile on his face. He's on the victory fuel pole here tonight. Guys, tonight the 20th event of this season for the series. Last year, Garrett Albertson got his first ever win at Port Royal Speedway. He's been fast all year, currently 4th in the Big River Steel Chase for the championship presented by ARP. $50,000 tonight would no doubt about it be a career win for that driver.
I see what you did there, absolutely. As he picked up his biggest career win at Volusia earlier this year, James, $20,000. And how about the lineup in this one? Snowdrift, welcome back.
Well, he had some issues the other night, tore up the right front of the car. They went home. They did not have a backup car with them. They made repairs.
Not terribly.
And they made the trip back today. No,
not
so
terribly
glad to have him back.
Yeah.
Don't forget, the final race for the Sunoco Race Fuels Road to Wheatland will conclude next Saturday night. The top point man, $2,500, and that is a battle now between Thornton and Davenport, because that's a $1,000 difference between first and second. The top 15 will split $16,000. So Davenport only 15 behind Thornton. Nutrient Act Solutions start zone. Snowdrift and Superman at Eagle.
8 laps, top 4 transfer. Underway with Summit Racing Heat 2, and Jonathan Davenport gets way too high down in turn number 2. He's able to get the car back under him, and man, I thought he was going to lose a ton of positions right there. Instead, he hangs on. He'll be 3rd at the line, over to the 2nd. Nodorf out front.
Out at turn number 2, Davenport will get the run down through the middle, but Blair Nodorf out in front. Davenport the run on the bottom on Overton. He will give Overton room. Behind him is McIntosh. At the line, it's Davenport. 0.3 of a second, 0.2 of a second. We're in a battle up front right now. Here comes Davenport and here comes Overton. 2 Lucas Oil regulars right there. Davenport and Overton onto the set to go. And he stumbles, and Davenport's going to take the lead at 49.
Oh, man.
tough break for Blair Nodorf right there. He is going to try to rebound a little bit, keep Brandon Overton and Donald McIntosh behind him. But that opens the door for Jonathan Davenport. The winner of this one starts third in tonight's 75-lap main event. James halfway home, 4 laps down, 4 to go.
87th career win last night. He's close to within 15 of Ricky Thornton Jr. He eyes a $2,500 bonus next Saturday night in the Sunoco Rachel's Road to Wheatland. Overton way up top, brings it back down. McIntosh, who is pulled even with Hilsebeck in that race for that $20,000 to win O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase, and that Billy Hicks 79.
And there's a look again at third and fourth. They're trying to close in a little bit there on Blair Nodorf. James Jonathan Davenport is stretched out this last time by to a 1.2 second advantage, 2 laps to go. McIntosh continues to crack the whip and try to gain ground on the 76 of Brandon Overton. Barrett's Performance, 1 to go for Jonathan Davenport.
Winner starts inside of row number 2, the Nutrient Solutions Cornet powered 49. Down the back straightaway, and Jonathan Davenport, pending the UN08 Skills DJ, he will win heat number 2 here tonight.
Blair Nodorf's going to finish second. Brandon Overton third. Fourth will go to Donald McIntosh. Fifth goes down to the line, and by half a cat's whisker, it's Chase Younghands getting that spot over Dalton Wilson, Spencer Hughes, Junior Coover, and Clay Harris. Donald McIntosh fourth. Brandon Overton third. Blair Nodorf second. There's your winner in the Lance and Darla Landers Double L Motorsports Nutrient Ag Solutions Dyna Grow Seed ASC Warranty, Mark Martin Automotive, Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas sponsored number 49 Superman Jonathan Davenport. Coolett Thermotech Heat Race number 3 is in the staging lane, and it will line up like this. Starting on the pole out of Chandler, Arizona, in the 20 RT, it's Ricky Thornton Jr., and on his outside out of Earl, Iowa, the 22 is Daniel Hilsebeck.
4 out of the last 6 Lucas Oil races. Hudson O'Neill's been the Hoker Trekking Hard Charger, looking to start further up front tonight. He's out of Martinsville, Indiana in 71. And Dylan Silman out of Alvo, Nebraska in 35D alongside.
Jordan Grabowski, a good qualifying effort. He'll start inside row 3, and on his outside in the 38T, originally from Orcutt, California, it's Dylan Thornton.
Carson Ferguson, the Paler Motorsports 93, 9th in the points, Lincoln, North Carolina. Corey Lawler, Hanover, PA in 93, and Dan Battaglia, he's out of Gretna, Nebraska in 45.
3-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion Jonathan Davenport wins Heat 2. JD, I think I watched you run about 5 different grooves. Where was this race car the most comfortable during that 8-lapper?
Definitely in the bottom down here and the top down there. I tried to make it harder on myself there. Pushed on the first lap and almost went back to 4th or 5th there, but luckily, I guess a couple people checked up behind me and let me get back in line. Then I got back by Overton there, and I guess Nodorf, he might have pushed over there on the cushion or something. So got lucky on that one. Almost made a big mistake, and that would have buried us. So now we're starting back up front, and we can try to make the right decisions on this thing and see if we can go after 50 of them.
You said 40 last night made you tired. Did you eat your Wheaties for breakfast?
You damn right.
Damn right. 75 laps tonight. Superman ate his Wheaties. He's ready to rock and roll. Guys, he's going to start third and go after his 88th career win of his the 88th win of his career with the series and his 5th of the year. Let's not forget, he won $30,000 at Fairbury last Saturday. Then he won $10,000 here last night. Man, I tell you what, Dustin, we talked about it on the way back to the house last night. Jonathan Davenport is back in 2025.
Yeah, he is peaking at the right time for sure. Got those Deathridge Opticians glasses looking sporty as well. How about that view, James? Out of the back of the Race Car Engineering pace truck.
I was more impressed he could say Nodorf and not Bilstein. He pronounced Blair's name right. Impressive. All right, here we go. Well, in his last 3 starts in the Lucas Oil Series, Davenport has been mentioned last night, 2 wins and a second. All right, here we go. Ricky Thornton Jr. got into the wall last night, running in third. Had a great battle with second Bronson, broke the steering.
How about this mix
steering
of cars?
rack in that car? Yes.
8 laps, top 4 transfer. Winner starts on the outside front row here tonight. Green Waves in the Nutrient Ag Solutions starting zone.
We saw this a year ago here. Thornton and O'Neill out at turn number 2. Here comes Hilsebeck in that Capital. Number 22. He and Donald McIntosh tied for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase. A terrific battle between those two and Dan Ebert. Hilsebeck on the outside. O'Neill has the spot. As I mentioned, 4 out of the last 6 Lucas Oil races, O'Neill has passed more cars than anyone. He wants to start further up front right now. He's in a battle for second in this race with Hilsebeck.
And Daniel Hilsebeck looking good, down to 1 car and 1 motor. That race team on the outside of the speedway in the red 22 is Hudson O'Neal going to throw a slider and clearing cleanly over in turn number 2. Hilsebeck will try to drive back down to the inside, but O'Neal's going to take that line away, and it's Ricky Thornton Jr., James, out front in this one by 1.4 seconds.
Yeah, Thornton is at Cruz, Zach Fields, Skylar Cooper, and Nick Hardy. How about Grabowski and Carson Ferguson? Carson Ferguson ninth in the points. Grabowski, Dylan Silman, who works at S&S Welding, just down the road, out at 2. He made the show here Thursday night, but here comes Carson Ferguson.
It's the battle for the final transfer on your screen. Dylan Silman has been in that spot since the drop of the green. Carson Ferguson trying to take it away. That time by the stripe survey says, yes, sir, circle gets the square.
Well, not so fast, my friend, as Lee Corso would say. As they come off at turn 4, Ferguson's going to get it, guess by a car length. It's Thornton. He's well out in front right now. 6 down as they head to the Bears. Now we got O'Neal into the wall in turn number 2.
I missed it. I did not see what happened. Hudson O'Neal going to bring out a Coltman Farms Racing caution, and that is a tough break for him, number 1. And number 2, that is going to completely reshuffle this running order because the SSI Motorsports 71 was running in the 2nd spot.
See if he goes to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. You see the damage on the right front of that car. 6 down, 2 to go, Ben.
Yeah, and I don't know if he ever got to the wall. I think he got over in 1 and 2. I looked up at the last minute. Maybe that cushion got those right side tires too far to the cushion. Perhaps pulled him in. We'll see if we have any kind of replays. But, man, tough break. Huddy was real good last night. And tonight, he may have dug himself a bit of a hole.
Well, you can see some damage there to the right front of that race car, James, just as you said. It is, I wonder if that's right. I wonder if that right front dug in, maybe. You know, I wonder if that's what happened. The right front dug in and it ripped up part of the, what you call the flopper. We used to call in the old days the elephant ear there. That molded piece of plastic.
The Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. And they're going to have to remove that because cannot steer that. So he was running 2nd. He was 1.5 seconds behind Thornton as he heads, and he's going to back it into the trailer. He is done. So he'll have to come out of a B main. He comes into tonight 5th in the points. So and it looks like another hard charger. He's going to have to negotiate that to get the victory lane here tonight.
Man, you just it's incredible the luck that some of these guys have, you know, just when you think you shake it. It's such a humbling sport. Yellow lights turned off, James. We're going to go back to green flag racing this time by, and if I'm Daniel Hilsebeck, I am tucking up behind the 20RT in a hurry as they're going to get the green flag this time by in the Nutrient Ag Solutions starting zone 2 to go.
Ricky Thornton Jr., that great battle. He and Bronson throwing sliders, good clean race. Ricky was behind Bronson, got into the front stretch wall, eliminating him from the night. Racing deal there. I mean, that wall comes up awful quick on you and knocked him out of the competition. And Barron's performance, 1 lap to go. Here comes Carson Ferguson throwing it in on Hilsebeck. Daniel with the crossover. Good battle for 2nd, but it's all Thornton to the stripe.
Yeah, checkered flags out. RTJ is going to get the win, and the 93 of Ferguson will finish 2nd. Hilsebeck 3rd, and Dylan Silman will grab the final transfer ahead of Dylan Thornton. Corey Lawler, Jordan Grabowski, Hudson O'Neal going to be credited with the 8th spot. Silman in 4th, good run. Daniel Hilsebeck 3rd. Carson Ferguson grabs 2nd on the final lap. And your winner in the 20RT defending series champ out of Chandler, Arizona, and the Bobby and Jessica Kohler Ultimate Towing and Recovery Elite Rating Mix Capital Weight Certified Inspection Services, Coltman Farms, Hoker Trekking Night Company sponsor 20RT, Ricky Thornton Jr. Simpson Race Products, heat race number 4 is in the staging lane. We'll show you the lineup for it. Starting on the pole out of Malvern, Iowa in the 18, that'll be Jesse Sobbing, a good qualifying effort for him. And on his outside out of New Berlin, Illinois in Rocket 1, it's going to be Brandon Shepard.
Dan Ebert, he's out of Lakeshore, Minnesota, 3rd in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year, chasing 60. And Devin Morandi's 3rd in the championship points, the 99, out of Dresden, Ohio.
Clay Stuckey going to roll from the inside of row 3 in the 15 out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Outside him from Otis, Oregon, the 28 is Ian Whistler.
Jake Neal, the Humphrey Racing 6 out of Omaha, Nebraska. And Tyler Erb, a top 10 last night, did not make the show on Thursday. He starts 8th at heat number 4. Down to you, Ben Shelton, with RTJ.
Ricky Thornton Jr., a series best, 11th Simpson Race Products heat race win of the year in that one. Ricky, you got the win back on Thursday. Had a good car last night. Mechanical issue got you. What is your confidence level as you get ready for 75 laps tonight from the 2nd starting spot?
I'd say it's pretty high. I don't know if it was a mechanical issue or just driver doing something dumb and running into the wall last night. I feel like we had a really good car, just driver screwed it up. Hopefully we don't do that tonight. Obviously qualified really good. Track's way drier today. It's pretty nice to come out here and watch mod, stock cars, and sprint cars tonight. So I think we're gonna have a big curb around the top. There's gonna be a little bit of moisture around the bottom. Look at the crowd. I mean, there's a lot of people here, so it's pretty cool to race in front of all these people. Gotta thank Dave Sharpley. Our inserts are pretty awesome. Definitely Ultra Shield, Insight tear-offs. Went through a lot of them this weekend, unfortunately, but they always keep me looking good. Our new helmet looks pretty nice, so I gotta thank Poland for that too, and everyone at Kohler Motorsports. Working hard. Hopefully the driver don't screw it up tonight, and I think we'll be up front.
He's thanking fans, he's thanking sponsors, he's kissing babies, he's taking responsibility. Ricky Thornton Jr. wins Coolett Thermotech Heat 3. He'll start outside front row. And again, guys, currently your Midwest Sheet Metal point leader, 15 points atop the series standings. He was last year's Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion and last year's FloRacing Night in America champion. And it's just nice, man. A lot of people don't always take responsibility, and he owned it. He said, I got in the wall, did it to myself, and that was a tough end last night, but he'll start outside front row here tonight.
Surprised you don't have a sprint car ride tonight, aren't you?
Hey, well, he was wearing the Indy race parts.
He did have the
racing suit on the other night, yeah.
All right, fourth and final heat for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. How about Jesse Sobbing trying to get in the show?
Could he do it?
Absolutely,
Could he do it?
He can. Absolutely, he can. Was he your dog? Who was your dog tonight?
Sam Mars.
Sam Mars.
Sam Mars, yeah.
Didn't quite make it enough to come out of the first B main.
Okay.
There'll be 2 B mains tonight. We'll take the top 3. Brandon Shepard had a good run going here on Thursday night. Flat Tire came back and finished 6th and in the top 5 last night. In that Rocket 1 for Mark Richards. $150,000 purse tonight, $50,000 to win next week's over $300,000 for 3 days, $75,000 to win a week from tonight at the Nutrient X Solution Start Zone. It is Jesse Sobbing. Who had him on dirt draft? Down the back straightaway. Here comes Shepard, 99 and 60. Dan Ebert showed some speed. Out at turn number 4, Sobbing's going to slide up the track. They're even out of turn 4, DJ.
Side by side. Sobbing trying to battle back to the outside, but it's going to be Brandon Shepard leading lap number 1. Sobbing going to try to get back down to the inside. Jesse Sobbing been very good over the years. 8 wins last year. James 6 in a late model, 2 in an IMCA stock car.
Good battle there. How about Ebert, the former snowmobile racer? He's going to throw it in there, and they get together. And Sobbing goes around, and Tyler Erb hits him head on. Hits him head on out of turn 2. And man, oh man, the Coleman Farms Racing caution is out. Tough break there. Wow.
Poor Jesse Sobbing just does not have wrecks that aren't hard. Man, oh man, that what a tough break. Great qualifying effort. Second quick in All-Star Performance Time Trials in Group B. And the driver out of Malvern, Iowa, took a hard lick right there. Everybody is okay, ladies and gentlemen. That's the good sign. Jesse Sobbing's actually going to drive away, and I am stunned that there's not more damage on the 18S than what we're showing. I'm sure it may have some damage underneath the race car. Tyler Erb has made his way back to the pits, and he has bypassed the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit, and Turbo has gone straight to his trailer. And Sobbing actually might be able to run that car. Here's the instant replay, James.
The Dave Warren Power Sports replay. Ebert up the track right there. Man, a hard hit there.
You see it rip the air cleaner off of Tyler Erb's car. So here it is again. Ebert with the slider. Sobbing thought he was able to get around to the outside. He wasn't. Just the angle Turbo hits him. These cars are so stuck to the ground.
Yeah, there goes the air cleaner off of Turbo's car.
We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Sobbing is, he's going to rejoin this field at the tail. We'll see if he's able to finish this race or even able to make up any ground. 2 laps scored, 6 laps to go. And it's now Brandon Shepard by himself out front, side by side for second, Devin Moran and Dan Ebert.
No, Moran got in there hot. Here comes Clay Stuckey. It's Brandon Shepard, the Valvoline Sober Calf Ranch's number 1. And Moran's going to throw it in there. He'll clear Ebert. Ebert bounces back to the bottom, and Moran's got it. Well, Moran's had a tough week. He's 3rd in the points. He dropped from 2nd to begin the week. And he's looking for his best starting spot of the week, I believe, so far here tonight. Dustin, if he can hang on for a second. Shepard leads by 1.2 seconds at the halfway mark.
Clay Stuckey trying to race his way into the show as well. Ian Whistler one spot out of a transfer in the 28. And both Ebert and Stuckey not letting Devin Moran get too far away. Brandon Shepard looking solid out front in this one. A full 1 second advantage over Devin Moran. We double it up for you at home. Leader on the left side of your screen. Battle for play it again. Third on the right side of your screen. 2 to go.
I tell you, Ronnie Stuckey's taking Clayton out on the road, and he's the last couple of years got a lot of experience. And right now, his first trip to Eagle, he's 4th. As we go to the Barron's Performance, 1 lap to go for Brandon Shepard. Again, he is 7th in the points, but that battle 4th through 7th, separated by only 135 points, DJ.
Devin Moran pedaling hard, trying to close in, but it's going to be too little, too late. Checkered flag in the air, and the winner of Simpson Race Products Heat 4 is going to be Brandon Shepard. Devin Moran 2nd, Dean Ebert 3rd, and Clay Stuckey. Those 4 drivers will race their way in. 5th spot will be Ian Whistler. Jesse Sobing rallies to 6th. Jake Neal 7th. Turbo credited with the 8th position. So finishing in that final transfer spot, Clay Stuckey in the 15th, finishing in 3rd is the 60 of Dean Ebert. Finishing 2nd is the 99 of Devin Moran, and there's your winner. He picked up the win in Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 4 last night as well. He is the driver out of New Berlin, Illinois. In that, Mark Richards Racing, Valvoline, Swabert Calf Ranches, Petroff Towing, Performance Grading, Ace Metalworks, Gunners Honey, Fox Shocks, Franklin Enterprises, Styles Marine sponsored. Number 1, how about it, ladies and gentlemen, for Brandon Shepard.
Brandon Shepard makes his way to the UNOH scales. As DJ said, he won Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 4 last night. He replicates that here tonight. He was 4th in last night's feature. He was 7th back on Thursday night, getting his first laps around Eagle Raceway. And as soon as he gets through with tech down there, we'll talk to him. A little track prep coming up next. And I think we're also going to have the redraw for tonight's Race Saver Sprint Car main event. As Brandon Shepard, 2 wins on the year, 1 with the World of Outlaws and 1 with the Mars Late Model Series. Tonight would love to get his first Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win, as he'll pull the Rocket One Racing number 1 down, and we'll talk to him about that one, as he's talked about the challenges of learning Eagle Raceway. The Illinois driver pulls off his helmet. Brandon, you made the comment to me that this place is tough to figure out, though. 2 nights, 2 heat race wins. Do you think you're kind of getting a grip of where you need to be on the racetrack?
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky track. It's a lot of fun. The track's a lot different tonight. I think the sprint cars definitely have the line different than it has been the past few nights. The bottom's not quite as good. I'm sure they're going to do some track prep, and it'll be a hell of a race again tonight.
All right, a big smile on his face. Another heat race win, his 7th Simpson Race Products heat race win of the year. Brandon Shepard trying to make up ground in that Big River Steel chase for the championship presented by ARP.
All right, Ben, thank you very much. Well, with track preparation going on, we have got the redraw for the IMCA Sprints here on the front straightaway. So PJ is going to make